And we welcome you inside the ESPNU film room. The goal tonight, to watch the championship game through the eyes of the guys who have been a part of college football's biggest stage. Simply put, we'll strategize, we'll illustrate, but you won't miss a play. We've got boxes all over your screen to make sure you can learn the game and enjoy it all at once. Hit us with your questions. Hashtag CFP Film Room. Will answer them throughout the broadcast. Let me introduce the crew. It's championship night. Gene Chizik knows what this night is like. He's a national championship winning coach with the Auburn Tigers. Mike Gundy, for 18 straight years, took Oklahoma State to a bowl game, and before that was a legendary quarterback with the Pokes. The most sustained era of winning ever at Wake Forest for football was engineered by Dave Clawson, and Steve Adazio coached Boston College, Temple, Colorado State, and was a two-time BCS national champion with the Florida Gators. Championship night is here. Fellas, let's get your quick thoughts. We'll get you to the coin toss. We'll get you to kick. Coach, let's start with you. You have been here, done that, on this stage this night. Tell me about the emotions coursing through you.
Well, you can see them in the tunnel right now. They're just ready to kick this thing off. They're tired of everything. They got celebrities on the sidelines. They got stars everywhere. They want to get back to their refuge. What is that? That's between the white lines. They've been waiting a long time for this. They're done with the media. They're done with all that. The coaches and the players, they can't wait to kick this thing off. And
Mike, you talked about Miami playing in Miami. It's a factor we've talked about all week, and it's something you've hit on.
I think it's interesting that it's a home game for them. They're going to be used to the stadium, the turf, the atmosphere. But Indiana has been fantastic everywhere they played and whoever they played.
You coached against Fernando Mendoza in the ACC. Can we hardly believe Fernando is in this moment tonight?
Yeah, 2024, we coached against him when he was at Cal. And impressive player, athletic. I can't tell you, I was sitting there or standing there watching the game saying, here's a future Heisman Trophy winner and maybe the first pick in the NFL draft. But they've got excellent skills. Surratt, Williams, Cooper, Becker. They got a lot of good weapons on the Indiana team, not just him.
You weren't the only guy that wasn't clairvoyant on that. Nobody saw that coming. And Coach Adazio, right before we started, you mentioned and said it with such verve in your voice, control the emotions. This is all about controlling the emotions. Take us inside exactly what you mean.
I mean, this game is huge. I can remember in our championship against Oklahoma, as we were driving up to the stadium, it was like nothing I'd ever been a part of. And you walk in that stadium, you feel as a coach, you feel as a player, this is an unbelievable opportunity out in front of you. And you so much want to be able to capture the moment. And the pressure's incredible, and how do you control those emotions, both as a coach and as a player? The energy's high, the excitement's high. It's a championship atmosphere.
We're going to get to the coin toss here in a moment. Let's just discuss the intricacies of the coin toss. You had an actual interesting point about deferring, taking, considering the coaches we're going to see tonight, and as soon as the coin toss happens, we'll have it. But take us inside your logic, Dave.
Well, these are both old school coaches that typically defer. But if you're Miami and you're down one of your very best defensive players, Xavier Lucas, for the first half because of the targeting call this week, you know, there might be a little strategy that if Miami does win the toss, they take the ball. In theory, that might be one less series you play without one of your top players.
Now, take us through what both coaches are going through. Let's start with you. Just take us inside the mind of Cristobal, what's going on there, and then obviously no lack of ink on what Cignetti has done. You were these guys on Monday night. What's going through each of them?
Well, they're just waiting for the coin toss right now because they have a plan in their mind what's going to happen. What's going to happen if we're on defense first, right? What's going to happen if we're on offense first? What are our calls going to be? What's our strategy going to be for the quarterback, right? How are we going to get him into the game and just kind of get him loose, right? Are we going to start out with the run game? Defensively, are we going to be pressuring? Are we going to try to create negative plays early? Are we going to see if there's anything new? Trading tight ends, jet motions, things maybe we haven't seen a lot of. So they're kind of getting ready to just feel each other out.
Yeah, and you hit on the offense, you're going to have a 15 or a 20 play list that want to do the things that Coach just mentioned. How are they going to adjust to unbalance? How are they going to adjust to motion? Indiana's a big trade strength team a lot in determining what they're trying to do because they've been so successful in the RPO game with a Heisman Trophy winning quarterback. And when I watched it, in the RPO game, which is a run-pass option where the quarterback has a chance to run it, hand it off, or throw it, he leans toward the run, in my opinion, which is interesting. You know, and then you have Miami, a team that, in my opinion, wants to establish the run. They want to rush the football, try to calm everybody down. They've been very successful at it and work their short passing game.
What I'm really interested with Miami is, first of all, when they get the ball on offense, where's Waldo? Where do they put Malachi Toney? Because if you haven't seen him, this might be the best freshman in all of college football. And then on defense, they have 2 elite pass rushers, and they use them in different ways to try to get one-on-ones with Messidor and Ruben Bain.
Before we get to you, Coach Adazio, just to mention, Coach Clausen, you were right on the money. Indiana won the toss, and they deferred.
Well, hey, 1 for 1. So I'm good for the rest of the night.
Go home right now. That's right.
Coach Adazio, just simply put, you know, this sounds like a simple, elemental question, but how do you calm the nerves of 18 to 22-year-old people that have never played on a stage, never been a part of anything in their life like this?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you per se calm those nerves, but what you don't want to do is overly activate them. So I think, you know, you don't need, sometimes you go into games as a head coach, you got to be the cheerleader. You got to create the juice. You got to bring the juice. There's going to be plenty of juice. I think you got to show confidence and you got to show a sense of calm, even though inside you might be as nervous as could be, but you're going to show, hey, we got this, and let's go have some fun.
And to Steve's point, I think there's a lot of value in normalcy, right? Whatever you look like when you were playing in Game 6, you got to look like that tonight, right? Even though they deep down inside, to your point, Steve, you may not feel that way. Everything's got to look normal, be normal. The players look at it, they're sensing the coaches, they're seeing you. So everything's about normalcy.
Well, I always thought there was like every year there was 2 or 3 red letter games. And you didn't have to worry about getting your players up for those games. It was the other 9 you may have to create a cause. You don't have that problem with this game.
Right.
Yeah, I also want to mention with us today is Jerry McGinn. He has been a part of officiating crews. There he is for some of the biggest bowls you've seen, the Sugar, the Rose, the Fiesta, the Orange. Anytime we need a coaching clarification, an officiating clarification, Jerry will lend his expertise. It's great to have him here aboard. Guys, before we get set to go, simply put, as we welcome you back inside, hashtag CFP Film Room, ask the fellas some questions, a little football 101. Set to go in the most unlikely championship game of the BCS CFP era. Guys, we are underway.
Even that was a little surprise. Miami most of the year has fair caught it. They haven't returned a lot of kicks.
So this is a good discussion right here, right, Dave? So opening drive, what are you telling the quarterback? What's the strategy here going into this opening drive with
If I'm the opening drive, I'm going to get Fletcher, my tailback, a touch. I'm going to get Toney a touch. And I'm going to make sure Carson has a completion in the first 2 or 3 plays.
And to be watching for Indiana here to really be, you know, look, what am I going to see here? What's new? Are we going to see any different motions or trades,
the very
formations?
first play, they're running bear, double eagle to stop that wind back play, and Miami still hit it. So they created a bunch of single blocks the very first snap of defense in their defensive structure.
And I want everybody to keep their eye on Malachi Toney. We talk about him as a skill guy in open space. If you go back and you really look at him through the year, and he just did it on that play right there, he is putting hats on receivers, and he is blocking. I mean, on DBs, and he is blocking.
Number 10, right?
Yeah, number 10, Malachi Toney. Keep your eye on him.
You know, one interesting thing is in the playoffs, on passes of 19 yards or more, Miami's 1 of 11. And Indiana's been very good at defending the underneath passing game. There's the screen game right there.
Yep, and that's what you do. You get your best player a touch early. Let him impact the game.
It's a run and play basically for 5 yards, 6 yards.
So in the first 2 plays, right, we got Fletcher a touch, we got Toney the ball, we got a completion, check, check, check.
And you're watching the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, that's right.
Go backwards. The defense, the offense is pushing the defense right now. And that's going to be a big tale in this game. It all starts up front, and who's going to win that battle?
There's a good tackle in open field right there. You know, Indiana is one of the top 5 teams in the country in tackling in space. And this tackle is very, very productive this year.
And to your point, Mike, D'Angelo Pons, that was D'Angelo Pons. He's one of their best defensive players. He's not big. but he is a great open field tackler. And let me tell you, they do a great job on crack replacing and making these guys tackle. You know, a lot of times say we're going to make the corners tackle. Well, these guys can tackle, you know.
And the crack replace is so big now in today's game with the ball thrown behind the line, crack, get a guy out in space and run, take off and run the ball. Easy for the quarterback. There's your short underneath throws right there.
Right after the play here, I want to they split screen there. Shannon Dawson, Miami's OC, and Brian Haynes, Indiana's DC. Coach Chizik, you were talking about, as we take a look at Shannon Dawson there, you were talking about the emotions that you have as a coordinator, not as a head coach, because you've been in this spot both ways. What is it like for the coordinators tonight?
Well, again, they're going into this game business as usual. You know, but typically when we did it, we had 30-something days to prepare for this game. These guys played 10 days ago, so you can't create as many new things.
Right.
But for me, it was always, look, we're going to do what we do, but I want to know what they're going to do new. Right. I want to know what I'm going to have to do to have that chalk flying on the sideline to adjust to things.
You guys believe this kid, Tony, is 18 years old?
He should still be in high school. I mean, he skipped his senior year, a high school quarterback, you know, a three-star guy, not the 4 or 5-star. But I've watched this guy all year, man, and he is so dynamic, and his lower body strength is really surprisingly strong. He can really kind of work through some arm tackles.
Great ball security there, right, in that position. And one thing with him we talked about last night was he'll come in and block you. A lot of receivers don't really want to block. They don't feel like that's a part of their game, much less a guy that should be in high school at this point and coming in and blocking.
Nor is it in their revenue share contract.
Yeah.
Out of the break, Indiana takes the field for the first time in their first ever national championship game. That's when we return on the ESPNU Film Room on championship night from Miami Gardens. We're back after this. Inside the film room, Dave, take us inside the play.
Yeah, this second down, it was 2nd and 9, which is second and off schedule. Your goal is to get half the yards back. And right now, Indiana, they only rushed 3 people, so there's 8 in coverage. And I just thought Carson Beck looked very uncomfortable. His feet are very jumpy. As you know, Coach, when you have a 3-man rush, you're going to have time, and you got to let things develop. And I thought he rushed the play a little bit.
And Indiana was in a soft quarter halves or 2 shell to one side of the field and taking away all the underneath throws. I thought it was interesting also on the punt. Indiana fair caught the ball on the 4-yard line, which is unusual. Right. Maybe a little bit of nerves there. Yeah. You know, in most cases, kind of lost where he was on the field.
And just so people know, the general rule is if you're a punt returner and you're inside the 10-yard line, typically you're going to try to let that thing get in the end zone. Definitely when you're inside the 5, to your point.
No doubt, yeah. Maybe some nerves there.
What are we looking for here on Indiana?
Indiana comes out throwing it on first down, and Miami is a middle closed team with the safety in the middle of the field. Over 60% of the time, there's going to be a soft throw somewhere in the flat. Interestingly enough, they don't play a lot of man. It's mainly a zone middle closed, which allows easy throws, easy access in the flat, unless your corners are in press. They don't press much at all. Dave and I were talking about that. He's watched it all year. And when the games I saw, they don't do a lot of pressing, so there could be free access throws, which by free access throw, we mean quarterbacks have what we call easier throws in the flat without coverage.
And with Mendoza's completion percentage, you don't want to give him a lot of easy throws. He doesn't miss those.
You know, on those intermediate routes for him, those are layups.
Oh, gosh.
And he's not going to miss them.
Well, eight touchdown passes and 5 incompletions in the playoffs is almost unheard of. I mean, it's hard to do that in practice on air.
But that was a great example right there of hitting a check down, right? He's not afraid. Nothing's open downfield. He's not going to force the ball. So you can see he's going to drop it down to his tailback. There it is. He's not going to panic. He's going to take the high percentage throw, and he's going to hit it.
I think the last 2 games, Miami has done a much better job of space tackling than they did the first half of the A&M game. And, you know, they missed the first one on the RPO, but those last 2 plays were good space tackles.
And you know, we also talked about this yesterday. I think teams that had improved over the last half of the season, Miami would have to be at the top of the list, right, for improvement overall as a unit.
Their last 7 games, they were as good as anybody in the country.
You see right now, I mean, 3rd down here. This defensive line's teeing off right now. This is where Indiana doesn't want to be. They reject the back on the block, and it's pretty nice job of, look at that, just reject them and flush Mendoza out of the pocket. And he's got to throw the ball out of bounds.
So let's look over here, and here's kind of the walk-up from the aerial view right here, Steve. Talk about the problems with all those walk-ups, and you know who's popping out and who's not.
Yeah, they're going to end up in a four-man rush, but they're showing 6 here, I believe. And, you know, the protection's got to get set. And sometimes what they're trying to do is bait the offensive line to slide to the side where there's droppers and overload the man side. Exactly. They got one-on-one with the back. That's what they want, and they destroyed the back and flushed the quarterback.
It was interesting. They ran a full gap or a full slide protection there to Reuben Bain.
Right.
And that's where you get a back one-on-one with an edge rusher, which
not good.
You never want.
You know, the other thing that was interesting there is that the right side, you know, I know we're at break, but we talked about this. They came right after the right tackle.
Yeah.
Hold that thought, Mike. We'll get right back to you after this. Dave, Steve, take us inside that blitz.
So they're showing what we call a double-A blitz, where the backers are going to walk up into the double A's. And what that does to the offensive line now, they've got to make a decision. Is the right guard going to gap adjust and come down on that gap backer? And is the right tackle going to block man on the end? Well, the right guard ends up going out to his right, and the right tackle stays on the end instead of the two of them blocking 1 and 2 LOS and leave the back on the A-gap defender. So there's a mix-up here, and the back had to redirect late to come out and block what the right tackle should have blocked. So they're trying to fool the protection, and they did a great job here. Miscommunication. If you watch the back right now, and you'll see him. He's going to go in like he's got the A, and then come back out again because the offensive line had a miscommunication.
And I think, I'm not for sure, but I think this is the first third down alignment they gave the last game. This is at Miami. They walked both backers up in the A-gap. The back had the backer. He ran through, knocked the back down, and got a sack. Now, this one is a bust, as you said, in my opinion.
And that was one of the things that we used to always call probes. We're going to show this blitz. How do they handle it? And based on how they handle it, you know, now we're going to adjust our next blitz.
Put who on who? Put our guy on.
Because the ultimate double A-gap walk-up is trying to get a mismatch on a back, right? Center's going to go one way, the back's going to go the other. And you want to get that mismatch.
And now coordinators are so good at dropping out. They bring 6, they bring 5, they bring 4, they bring 3, they overload. It makes it a miserable day for Steve's guys.
I tell you, there's a lot to think about up front, I promise you. And, you know, I know a lot of people, you know, everybody pays attention to the perimeters, the skills, and I get it totally. But up front, there's a lot of dynamics going on, a lot of communication.
All we wanted you to do is block 8 guys with your 5.
That's right.
Yeah. That's all we have.
Just like inside.
Don't make a mistake.
That's what they get paid to do, right?
Yeah, right. That's right.
That's block 8 with 5.
Just let us draw the routes.
Miami's definitely trying to establish the run, right? Like we talked about, they feel like they can settle the quarterback down. They've run blocked really well. Steve, you really like their offensive line.
I do.
The back has been powerful the last 4, 5, 6 games of the year.
Yeah, but the way that Indiana's lining up for that duo play, it's only allowing them to get one double team, not 2.
Right.
They're covering the center. They're covering both guards. And Miami loves it when they can get 4 legs on 2 in 2 different spots.
I think they're going to have their run game, you know, they're trying to take away the inside run. They're going to have to run some wide zone play a little bit here and try to, you know, make them defend all the gaps across the front.
They're showing a 2 shell, and they're going to look like they're rolling to 3 crowd. There's the extra guy. They dropped 8, correct?
Yeah, they've been doing that.
They rolled 3 cloud to the field, meaning the corner to the field rolled. They played 3 behind it and dropped the extra guy to make up for the 3 crowd look in the back end.
This Indiana team is one of the best zone coverage teams in terms of the ability to come out of zone coverage, break on the ball, and make a play. These guys are well coached in the back end.
Yeah,
there's the 3 cloud look right there.
And let's look at it. When you see it from the end zone right here, from this end zone copy, you can really see what this look is, right? So they're walking up, right? But in the end, there's a potential to bring 6, right? But what happens? You're going to end up bringing 3 on the 3-man rush, and it makes quarterbacks jittery, right? They hold the ball a little bit. You're clouding up all those windows. And look, everybody's playing vision. Everybody underneath is just reading the quarterback's intention and breaking on the ball. And it gives guys time to get underneath.
Look what it did to the running back.
Right.
It held the running back in protection unnecessarily, and he was late getting out for a relief throw.
Exactly right. And the thing that what we found that happens with this three-man rush that's become a little bit more prominent over the last few years is the quarterback has to learn to set in the pocket and be patient.
Right.
And
it's hard for them to do.
They have a biological clock going off in their head. And they have to get a feel for it. It's a three-man rush. You have to sit there because, Steve, right, the worst thing you can do is start to get out of the pocket and you're protected because now you're not protected.
All right, back to live action.
So they're going to their middle close. Now they rolled the two coverage, two safeties. Great job of disguising coverage and not showing coverage till after the snap. Great job right there.
There was quite a holding call right there on the offensive line.
Hold on, you're making that call? I thought Gene would be looking for that.
Oh, Gene, what have we got going on here? I think I saw a hold.
That is the first time I ever heard an O-line coach ask for a holding call.
You're right. What am I doing? Right?
That's my job.
I take it all back. I take it all back.
They listen
Jerry
to
threw
you.
a flag back here behind Jerry.
Holding, number 67, offense, 10-yard penalty, still first down.
So there was a great job of holding the coverage till after the snap, and caught Mendoza there. I can't see the route down the field, but obviously everybody's covered up.
You think he's got a hold him pretty good right there?
Yeah.
You know, and let's go to the end zone shot of this pass rush. Look at Miami's guys get off the football. I mean, these guys, watch them get off the ball. Watch 99 right over the center. Watch what he does to the guard here.
RPO. Very nicely done. Nice RPO, run pass option. There's a nice job by the quarterback. Rode the ball in the belly. Saw the defender drop down to take the run. And
that's
reading that guy right there.
And that's the dilemma you're in
Here
an
he
RPO,
comes.
that he's got an inside gap and he's got a zone.
Yep.
And he's in conflict.
There it is.
So here we go. Let's look at it from this end zone, from the high end zone right here. Mike, take us through this one right over here.
Yeah, so it's a run pass option for Mendoza, and so the guy, the backer there on the weak side, he's got to come in and fill in the B or C gap, whatever his responsibility is. He comes down, the quarterback pulls it. That's what we call a nickel route. The receiver's running a 5-step in cut, and it's usually about 10 yards down the field. You got to get rid of the ball quick so you don't get linemen downfield, illegal. The ball's thrown on time, got a catch, got a missed tackle, got a big play.
Just make the tackle and get him on the ground, though, you know? Missed tackle. That's what you can't have.
Yeah, those should be 5-yard and 6-yard plays, and not 15-yard plays.
They had him behind the sticks a little bit, you know? And
See, that's so Indiana is the second least penalized team in the country.
Part of snap, false start, number 74.
So that is a very
Offense,
rare
5-yard
happening for an
penalty.
Indiana
Second
team.
down.
I think it's like maybe 25, 26 yards a game.
What's the key to all that discipline? How do you think they played so clean?
they're just well coached and you know, they work at that, you know, and it's all about taking away the no talent issues. Those are no talent issues. You don't need talent to stay on side, you know, so you got to handle that. It's discipline.
Now,
the right guard got a little antsy, you know, big environment.
The flip side of that, Steve, those guys at defensive line for Miami, and you know because you've coached the other side of it, they make you nervous.
Oh, yeah.
When you know you got guys can get to your quarterback and you've watched them on video, when they've watched them on video all week, as an offensive lineman, you know that, hey, I better get a good start. Because these guys, they're not only good speed rushers, they'll power rush you.
Yeah.
They're
This
really
is
good.
really smart by Mendoza. He sees pressure weak. He knows he has open access away, knows he's going to get hit. It's like playing shortstop. You turn two right away and you get rid of that football as soon as you can.
I'm kind of surprised Miami was playing so soft out there in the corner.
Yeah, he's playing 8 yards off to the field.
Yeah.
Well, but they haven't gotten up there much all year, right? They're inexperienced right now from a youth standpoint on the perimeter.
Yeah.
They've had some injuries and they're playing with young guys out on in the secondary, and then they've got a player that's suspended for targeting, correct?
Right.
Yeah, and that was a position that they weren't good at a year ago, and their whole starting secondary they got from the portal.
Right. You would think, though, they could play cover two, roll the corners up, and defeat the run with
Well, that's what they're going to have to mix. They're going to have to mix in and out of that, Steve. They got to give the appearance that they're playing off,
right,
and then be able to set their cleats in the ground. Right now, you have those easy access throws all day. Look at
you
look right now. The corner.
See, they've got it right here.
Off.
Yeah, they tried to invert quick down to the flat to take it away. It's a good job by Mendoza going to the middle of the field. He saw the safety going down with, 3 weak, rolling down and taking the throw away in the weak side of the field.
And his feet there looked a lot more settled than Carson Beck's did. He knows he has a 4-man rush. You're going to have time to get to the check down. I don't know how much time. He's certainly
Well, here it is right here, Dave, from the wider end zone. You can see it right here to your point. He's just calm. He's going to get the 4-man rush. He takes his time in here, and he just delivers the ball right there on the spot.
He's somebody who's not scared to take a hit.
Yep, just throws it. And you give him an intermediate throw, he's going to complete it.
Same thing. They're back in 3 deep again. They're playing soft. They're 9 yards off. And he's going to take that all day.
Yeah.
Earlier I mentioned I was shocked. I think in the playoffs they've had 90 runs and like 36 passes. I wouldn't have thought that from a Heisman Trophy winner.
That's right.
But he's very good at giving the runs up. And an interesting thing was they run the ball into good looks almost every time.
Right.
Does a great job of that. He helps the offensive line coach.
So here's their first snap of empty, and Miami's going to run a 5-man pressure. There it comes. And they guessed wrong on the protection.
That's what Miami needs to do. They have got to unsettle the quarterback.
An incomplete forward pass, 3rd down.
Yeah, but whenever you're in empty, right, there's a little bit of a guess with the protection, and there the slide was strong.
Yeah.
Which means if you bring a guy weak, you got to have a hot, and the blitz beat the hot route.
The problem Miami has is they're such explosive defense to me. They're going to get tired here on these long drives. Every time they get a first down, Indiana gets first down, you see the pass rush starting to, not be as intense.
Yeah, and Miami is a team that, they on average have the ball 34 minutes. And so their defense is not used to playing a lot of snaps.
The interesting thing is we all would agree that Indiana wants to rush the football. But they've started this game, in my opinion, attacking the flats. And I think it's because of the middle closed safety in the middle of the field defense of Miami and their inexperience on the perimeters. And now they're back to the run a little bit more, which they've done in the latter part of the year. But they started this game attacking the perimeter.
So this is a 6 offensive lineman package that Indiana runs.
And you can see the corner for Miami in the boundary. That's where they're getting a lot of their easy throws. Now they put them up in press. So they're trying to take those throws away, right?
Somebody, as you know, somebody on the headphones said, guys, we got to stop
them up. Yeah, you got to tighten them up.
We can't let them do this anymore.
And there's a little less risk in doing that as you get to the red zone.
They're running the best play in football right now. Power. There it is. And they're reading the weak side end in the power so that if he closes too hard off a nub end, the quarterback will pull it. But he takes a shot here.
Hey, Jerry, get your expert opinion. Targeting there up top on Mendoza, what do you think?
That's a great example where there should have been a flag, and that definitely looked like it would have fell in the category of targeting. He launched, hit him in the helmet to helmet. Should have been a flag.
It looks, Steve, you're right. They're breathing hard, really hard here. Oh, yeah, definitely.
Guys, what do you think? Jerry weighed in with his thoughts. What do you think?
Oh, that's targeting.
It's targeting, and I'm really glad they didn't call it.
Shoulders. Yeah.
Because
particularly because
best
it's a quarterback.
Best.
And even though he's kind of carrying out a fake, that it's in most cases would be called
bloody lip.
Here's your double A gap again. They blocked it correctly this time, right, Steve?
Yes.
So now they double A gapped it. They went big on big. The back inserted on the A gap linebacker. Good coverage out on the perimeter.
Had a chance to pick it right
so
there.
Frederic is a player for Miami who's been hurt a lot the last 3 or 4 weeks. He's had a bad ankle, tried to play the last game, only played 6 snaps. And Becker's a receiver for Indiana that's really come on as of late.
Steve, let's look at this protection down here on this monitor. Steve, look at this right here. Go to, here's the walk-ups you were just talking about. They did a much better job picking it up this time.
Yeah, they slid it to the left. They went big on big to the right, and the back inserted on the A-gap backer. And they did a nice job picking this up so that he could throw this ball one-on-one.
Exactly.
Our first points of the championship game have been scored by the Hoosiers, bloody lip and all. We're back with more of the film room after this. Abe, take us inside the play.
Well, this was the same blitz look they gave earlier that they got the back on the end. So here they, again, have a double A gap show with the two linebackers walked up. Indiana slides the protection to the left. And then as you watch it, Akeem Messidor is the defensive end over here. He's out of the picture. But this is what you call a read blitz. If the tackle steps down, he would come, which came the time before. If the tackle steps to him, he drops. And now Miami gets an inside linebacker on the back, good blitz pickup, and that's a one-on-one shot. That's all you can ask for.
Here's what they have to do up front with that. That's a common pressure. You've got to set the right guard and the right tackle vertical and let them sort it. So you're 2 for 3. They're not doing that right now, and that gives the opportunity for the end to read the play. But you vertical set that, the offensive line can handle it and still get the back out.
That's right.
When we come back,
Sink and sort.
Sink and sort.
When we come back, I want to get the fellas' thoughts because Signetti has been all over the officials off that helmet-to-helmet from Mendoza. We'll talk about that next. Back on the film room all throughout the commercial, Signetti was all over the officials. Mike, in addition to being a great coach, you were an Oklahoma State quarterback. Take us inside the mind of a QB after taking a shot like this.
There's not any question in playing that position, you can feel the presence of a defense, particularly a defensive line. Mendoza's aware of these guys and how good they are, and I'm going to guess that somebody at Miami said during the week, said, look, we got to get his attention early in the game. Not late, but we need to make him feel our presence, and that's what happened right there.
Well, you're teaching that defender, okay, it's a zone read concept. I don't care whether he gives it or not. You hit the quarterback, period.
Without targeting, and Jerry can get involved in this, it's legal because he's actually carrying out a fake,
right.
and you don't know if he has the ball or not.
Jerry?
Well, the fake was already done. The defensive player knew that the quarterback didn't have the ball. So forget about targeting. It was still late. There still should have been at least a foul or a personal foul, 15-yard penalty.
Late hit. Yeah.
Totally
so they're behind the
unnecessary.
chains again here, right?
And Indiana, the last few times, is three-man rush this.
Going with a 4-man rush there.
See, they challenge throws.
Well, they do because right there, that's their best corner, right? Yep. They press him, they get in your face, and they don't let you have the same easy access throws. Watch him right there. He's patient. Everything he does right there, what Pons does, is exactly what you teach a DB. Stay square, let him make his move, get your hands on him, and you know, disrupt the route. That's great. That's great.
And
coaching.
Daniels,
That's great
he's a transfer from LSU. Yeah. He had the catch against Notre Dame that probably is the reason they're in this game.
Right.
A really good big target, but he's not a speed separating guy.
And by the way, Pons is 5'10" at best.
Smallest guy in the field, maybe.
Yeah. So Indiana just did the same thing Miami did.
And that's
right
very unusual because Mark Fletcher is usually an excellent pass protector. And I mean, I've watched these guys all year, and their backs protect well.
Backers walked up, right? And I'm going to guess they got it set wrong. I was watching out here on the perimeter. Yeah, see, when another running back just missed.
He missed the block on
he just
Fisher.
missed his guy.
You know,
Wow.
Again, not
Great
to sit
job.
on the couch and be critical here, but Miami is a run team. To me, they open with 2 drop back passes. The weapon they have is play action pass. Hard run game, hard play action instead of these drop backs right now. Take advantage of the fact that you're a physical run team. You want to throw it on first down? Throw a play action pass. Right. Move the pocket, throw a naked off the wide zone. But now, what are they going to do? They're out of. That's not who they are.
They don't play behind the sticks well at all.
No.
They're a team that has to stay ahead of the sticks. And the reason they've been successful in this game is they've had a lot of 3rd and shorts.
Exactly.
Very well said by an offensive line guy. Much easier to pass protect in play action than drop back.
No question.
Let's go ahead.
And affect second-level defenders, right? Safeties and linebackers at second level aren't as good at pass defenders if there's play action because they have to play run and pass.
Let's look at these guys. Here's Indiana defensively is doing exactly what Miami's doing defensively. It's the same thing. It's the double-A walk-up, get the back on a backer, end up being in a 4-man rush. This is what we call simulated pressures because it ends up being a 4-man rush, but you're getting the mismatches, right? In this particular one, the center's going to go to the right. That means the back's going to go to the left, but you're still getting those mismatch.
And you're getting the defensive end to the left, occupying the left tackle.
Who's blocking?
Who's the best pass protector. Now his guy isn't even rushing.
There was your pin and pull play there, Coach.
Yeah.
And the backside A gap, like we saw in the games previous, stopped it from the backside from Miami, right? I think he came through the backside A gap.
Penetration.
Forced it sideways.
The problem with Miami is you don't want to run at Ruben Bain and you don't want to run at Akeem Messidor.
Right.
That those pin and pull blocks aren't quite as good against those two guys.
You know what's interesting now? Indiana in the playoffs has thrown the ball when they wanted to throw the ball, not by necessity. So far in this game, there's been a number of times that they are throwing the football because they're behind the chains and they have to. They haven't been behind the chains much, but there's not many of us that want to be in 3rd and long throwing the ball versus a good pass rush team like Miami because they're going to free will.
And these are both two teams that have converted over 50% of their 3rd downs this year.
Outstanding number, right?
Which is hard to, I mean, Indiana's at 58%. That's hard to do on 3rd downs. This is a great example of him hitting the check downs. He's not going to panic, but.
Did they pull linemen out here?
There was a screen.
But, Steve, look what happened. Both tackles got beat. Now, I know that they wanted them to go outside, but I don't think they wanted them to get that far outside. They almost got in the line of the throw.
Yeah, they rushed 3, then didn't get their hands.
Yeah, they needed to take an inside presence, but a little more cover than that.
Yeah. 3 points, 1 bloody lip. We're back with the second quarter next. ESPN Film Room, here's the tail of the tape. Indiana sits 3 quarters away with 3 points from their first championship. Let's go to Coach Clausen at the big wall.
This is why you don't want to be in 3rd and long, because this is when you get all the exotic pressures. Here, Indiana is showing the threat of 6 guys. They have a defensive end, a tackle, a nose guard, a tackle, and an end, and they have 6 potential rushers. And they take the linebacker and walk him up, and they can get him on the back. So this does 2 things. You eliminate the back from the route, and when the tackle sets, this guy will drop, and you give up your best pass protector to a guy that's not rushing. Steve, if you can roll it. And this is a great Fisher, who's one of the JMU transfers, who's a great linebacker. This is a great head and shoulder fake to beat Mark Fletcher.
You know, one of the interesting things statistically so far, both teams have been really successful on 3rd downs. Combined right now, 1 of 7 on 3rd downs.
You said both over 50%, which is not easy to do.
It's extremely difficult, and they have been successful. I think the biggest thing for Indiana, they've been in 3rd and longs more so, or mid to long, and not used to it. The 1 for 7, I think, would be a surprise for all of us right now. But defenses obviously are playing very well. Pass rush is a factor.
At the 31-yard line.
I think Indiana, converted, 58% of their 3rd downs this year, which is
astronomical.
That's astronomical. I think it is number 1, yeah.
You know, to your point, though, Mike, look at Indiana. Think about the time, when was the last time they had 16 yards rushing?
No doubt, they're a running team.
So you're looking at them being 3rd down, they're behind the chains from what they're normally in, because they can't run it effectively right now.
It'll be interesting to see where Shannon goes, the offensive coordinator for Miami right now, because what this reminds me of is their game against A&M offensively for Miami, where they were not productive, they weren't getting anything going, and then they came out and started rushing the ball in that second half. So it'll be interesting to see what they do right here.
Okay, the reason, though, that both these teams are in this game are these are 2 teams that can win a high or a low-scoring game.
That's right.
I agree.
And that's why they're elite on both sides of the football.
Good job checking the ball down there.
Again, good open field tackle.
Steve,
what you don't see here, to me, Miami's got to take a couple of shots.
Okay.
And I think they got to take a couple of shots down the field off of play action. To me, you're not seeing that, which get the ball down the field. You got some good receivers and you got speed.
Yeah, and you can attack Indiana because Indiana, even though they're in zone, they're in more press and tighter coverage. Yeah. Like Miami is back. Indiana's not back. Look to the top of the field here. Now they were in rolled corners. They're in too deep.
They're not used to that now.
Gene, let me ask you this. Only slightly hyperbolic. Outside of their first series against Alabama in the Rose Bowl, it has been nothing but smooth sailing for Indiana. They have not been challenged. What do you think is going through their minds right now getting this sort of test?
Well, I think this is probably a little bit, I can't say they didn't expect it. I mean, they're expecting look, if there's anybody that they've played this year, especially in the playoff, that is a line of scrimmage team, Miami is on both sides of the line of scrimmage. And I'm not saying that the other guys weren't, but when you look at what Miami is, they're playing their best football right now on both sides. That's what's happening right now. I don't think it's catching them off guard, but look, they haven't had to win many games this year in the end. Penn State would be one of them, but not many.
You know what's interesting? You guys, they watch video. Like the coaches have watched all the video. They know how good they are up front, and so they had to have had a plan. If this happens, we've got to have a plan for this.
And we're back after this.
Miami's going to run an inside zone, but what Indiana does really well is they move and twist their front, and they're excellent at it. They're going to run a little T-E stunt right here, and they're going to get the man blocks picking each other as the offensive line tries to zone to the play side backer. So what ends up happening right now is the defensive end becomes unblocked in the hole. And on top of it, these linebackers are coming downhill. They're playing downhill, pulling these guys off their double teams right now. Roll it, Dave. So it's just really what has to happen right now is the quarterback, if they were running a read play, would pull the ball and run the ball. But they need to throw more play action pass to slow these linebackers down a little bit.
And he had the ability to throw the ball to the screen to the field. But Indiana was down in press coverage, and the corner saw that. He stayed hard wide, and the quarterback had to hand it off or could have kept it. But they took away the screen to the perimeter on that game.
And then the first play right here, easy access throw to Surratt right before this particular play. Easy access throw, corner playing 7 or 8 yards off.
In the boundary.
Took it again in the boundary.
Same RPO right here they hit earlier. Now the corner's pressing.
Yep, now they press him on second
different
down.
play right now.
Yep.
Really, most defensive guys.
Very handsy.
Chiz, most defensive guys are going to tell you that if you're going to stop a good RPO team, you got to get up in their face. You got to trail them. Because, I mean, zone coverage, you just don't really have a chance.
That's what you want as an offensive guy. You want zone coverage. You want guys playing off.
So they were should have been a 4-yard gain, right? And ends up being a 9-yard gain. Those are things a lot of times people don't talk about a lot, but as coaches we see that, and that with yak or missed tackles, yards accomplished after what the play should. You know
why I love Nowakowski, the tight end that just caught that?
Yeah.
Because that guy does so much dirty work. This guy blocks his butt off right now, and they just got a completion of him in the national championship game.
And he broke a tackle.
Oh,
and he took a 4-yard play and made a 9-yard play. It's a good football player.
Good reward for a guy that does a lot of the dirty work.
I want to ask you this.
Wow. That's a really great run right there.
Yeah.
Hey, that's called be your own blocker right there. You see how low his pad level is? He ran for a first down, not a touchdown. Really nicely done.
As they pick up the first down there, Gene, guys, you guys were just, I could see the smile on your face when you were talking about rewarding a player like that. Everybody's got an unsung player like that. What's your attachment as a coach to guys like that who literally would do anything you ask to get the job done?
You love them because they're program guys.
That's right.
They're the guys that you built. They're in this game because of guys like that. They don't care what their job description is. They're just going to go do the job. Yes, sir, coach. You tell me you want me to go knock this 300-pound guy down. If that's my job, that's my job. And that's what 37 does for Indiana.
We always called those guys glue guys.
Glue guys.
Yeah.
They kept your superstars, maybe the guys that are a little more individualistic. They kept the team culture together. Because if those guys are willing to do it, other people had to follow.
You guys probably did the same thing, but you would meet with a group of those guys. They would be your committee.
That's it.
They were on your committee. An 8 or a 10, 12 play group, a committee that a coach would talk to about, we need to fix this, or I need this to get this in the locker room. Those would be the guys, not necessarily the guys that were getting all the statistics.
Yeah, they weren't. A lot of times they weren't your best players.
The team
they were your most
them.
unselfish players.
But they were the guys in the weight room that everybody saw work. They were the first ones of the workouts in your run, in your Sunday Saturday runs. I mean, they're the guys that you.
Interesting right there, right?
PI here, what do you think?
I don't see that. Gene.
Yeah, I'm an offensive guy, and I'll have to see the replay on this. But here's what they defended. They defended the back shoulder, and how good have they been on the back shoulder? These two guys in the connection.
Automatic. First down.
Jerry, what are you seeing?
I mean, I don't know about that.
There's a little tug there.
I mean, that wasn't egregious, though. I mean, he's got his hands on him.
To me, Surratt's trying to push off.
Chiz, he's playing the back shoulder, the corner, right?
100%.
They've told him, they've watched, hey, this guy's dominated.
Through 15 yards, you got to play the back shoulder throw.
It's exactly right.
Look at him right there.
Yeah.
It was tight.
And you notice Miami's pressing up here.
In the boundary.
Yep.
Wow.
Wow.
See, right. Indiana hasn't run into this. They're in a different situation right now.
Wow.
I would say the only front close to this that Indiana played is Ohio State.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you look at Moten, this is about the fourth time he showed up where he's destroying blockers. When you look at a defensive lineman, you look at suddenness, right? How sudden and quick are they off the ball? This guy is destroying people. He's destroying double teams. He plays with good leverage, flat back leverage.
Here, now they're in press. They're coming out to the field. They're playing an same invert here. But Indiana's behind the chains.
But what he's done a couple of times is he's backdoored the block. And for a guy that size to be that quick and still make the play in the backfield.
Yeah, they're not getting much movement here right now. And nobody accounted for the end on that play. I mean, he was a free hitter. But here's the thing that's amazing to me. Like, Miami has got to get off the field right now because, and now they got Indiana behind the sticks, but they're getting first downs, Indiana.
Yeah. See, I think that was a read zone. The last one was a read zone. And we can draw that up for our audience and go over that.
Let's do that. Let's do that when we return. Big third down coming when we rejoin you live. Mike, it's all you.
So we've got another RPO here. So Mendoza's got the option here with the run, and Steve brought up a good point. The snap is high here, and the mesh is a little deep for a read zone where the quarterback can hand the ball, read this player. If this player's shoulders are square and he's sitting here, then you're going to give the ball. If this defensive end shoulders are down and he's chasing, he can throw the screen out here. What it looks like to me that he has one, he has two or three. He could maybe potentially keep it. He sees 2-on-2 out here. I'm a little surprised he didn't throw it. But either way, there's your read zone concept. Defensive end makes a really good football play.
Let's go back to why Indiana is struggling running the football. If you watch right here, watch the two inside players right here, right? Watch Moten and Justin Scott. Yeah. Justin Scott, number 5, Moten, number 99. Watch these guys get off, play with a flat back. When they come off the football, they're holding the point. Look at them. Steve, you can appreciate as an offensive line guy, man, that's a hard double. That's a double. Now, they're going to be working up to a backer, but that's a guy that's not moving. They're not moving the line of scrimmage, to your point. You've said it a couple times. Yeah. But they can't. Watch what Scott's doing right now to the guard.
Yeah, we call that a spinal tap.
Yeah, that's it.
That's right. Where they take them and they bend them backwards. The offensive line for Indiana's got to keep a flat back, and they've got to gain ground with their feet, run off the ball. They're waddling right now. That's and these guys on defense, they're powerful now.
They are.
So, I see some of the gallop. We could call it the gallop technique by the right guard here. That's not going anywhere. Against these teams, you got to fly off the ball and knock them back, and it's not really occurring.
And look at the line. Look at the fit by the linebacker. Yeah. He's just waiting for that seam to open. If that ball shows in that seam, he's going to shoot that gap.
Interesting thing that just happened there. I was in the back of my mind, I thought, when are they going to change snap count? Because the ends are making it so hard on the tackles, the offensive tackles, and they got them to jump on the last play.
Finally, something going right momentum-wise for Indiana as they bust a big one here, fellas.
Yeah, here they go. So Miami comes into a double A-gap walk-up blitz again, right? Except this time they're going to bring them and they wash it down. So they wash it down. They bring the receiver in motion right now. The back hits the B gap, and he's downhill. That's one of the few misfits that you've seen the entire game, right?
And look, and watch what the O-line's doing now. They're kind of showing short set pass up front. They're not run blocking right now. They're trying to let the inertia of the D-line take themselves out of the play here. Almost like a little bit of what we call a slow draw.
And the right defensive end for Miami getting dug out of the gap is the reason that thing popped.
That's right. He should be 18. Should be the B gap player, and they give him inside footwork and dig him out, and then that's why you have the crease in there.
Yeah, on the
Whoa. Whoa, how about that effort?
What a play.
What an effort.
Hey, Coach, Steve, you brought up a good point with the set of the linemen. They had a downfield nickel route on the outside. He was actually in an RPO mode. You had a clear with a nickel route behind it, the end cut. So the linemen are wanting to be slower downfield so they don't pass that 3-yard mark. So Jerry's guys don't throw a penalty for linemen downfield.
Uh-oh.
Jerry,
What do you think, Jerry?
Right foot, right
Yeah,
foot.
we got-
What do you think, Jerry?
We have him out.
Okay.
Bring it back.
But you go back to this touchdown, right? It's the same issue that we've been talking about, Mike. Watch the corner. The corner is going to play 7 or 8 yards. Now, what does that do? Not only does that give you free access throws, that gives you a problem tackling in space.
No doubt. You're trying to play one-on-one basketball out there with not any help at all.
Yeah, and Becker, he's 6'4".
Yeah, and I think the coverage, they're trying to play that with the underneath dropper, but the RPO is holding the flat player
it is.
inside, which is giving them the open access throw.
100%, and the reason why, because they've rushed the ball so well.
Jerry, what did you see there on the
Look at
right
this.
foot?
Look what's going on here on the sideline.
Yeah.
You got Moton's not happy right now. He's getting after him. This is what they can't do. They can't start bickering and turning on themselves here, Miami.
And as much as we said Indiana is one of the least penalized teams in the country, we can't say the thing about our Canes now.
Right.
They're one of the more penalized teams.
Yeah.
You know, that was a great point, Gene, in the boundary. So the corner's so far off that he's concerned about the guy making him miss in space.
That's right.
Now he powers through him and runs through him for 6 yards and scores a touchdown.
Yeah, if you go ahead and look at this from the wide, if you put the wide on there, Chris, it'd be good. Watch the corner now. To your point, Dave, the play action right there, right? It holds that buzz dropper. That buzz dropper is the guy between the hash and the 20-yard line, and he's supposed to be getting under that out route. So if you look at this right now, the buzz dropper, that guy, he's got a buzz under, and he's got to give that corner some help and get in that window, and he doesn't. And now he pops it out of there. Now the corner's got his hands.
You're the corner, even though you're a zone defender, because you're on the backside of a 3-by-1 set, you can play that thing tighter.
Yes, you can.
You don't have a second threat that you should be shuffling off inside.
And to your point, Dave, they're down in the red area anyway.
That's right.
That's the bigger issue there, right? When you're down that far, you can't give that much ground.
Look at that, Steve. I mean, Indiana hasn't been, they haven't seen this. It's fizzled. This box is very impressive for their ability to run and these plays. Now, they hit one a second ago. They hit a 20-something yarder, but
Indiana is a tough. They stay after you. They hang in there.
Yeah.
You know, and what's happening is as many good plays as Miami is having, they're giving up some big hits, and they can't get off the field, and they're gassed.
they inserted on that one, Chiz, right? So now they went ahead and blocked out on the 5 technique. They inserted the back of folding up on the backer, and the backer hit the back in the mouth at the line of scrimmage.
And to your point, Steve, Indiana has the ball twice as long as Miami has. Miami's not used to playing this many snaps.
But they're going to still grind it straight ahead, like Steve said right here. I mean, they're going to do this. They're going straight ahead. He's told them, get it in there, run it through there. Guys, look, this is who we are. This is what we've done. We're not changing. This is your duo concept to a certain extent.
And I think with this call now, Coach Signetti's telling Coach Shanahan and his OC, you got 2 downs.
Sure he is.
No question.
Yep, this is, you're going for this on 4th down. That decision's already been made.
Okay.
Look at the time of possession here right now. This defense is tired. Look what's going on
16-7.
And he's grinding his teeth, and he's telling them to run that ball straight ahead and run right through them and establish who we are.
And I think Indiana just lined up with 8 offensive linemen there.
Well, they put
timeout on the field.
I think that was a good timeout. They got to gather themselves here.
That, of course, would be
Now, a week ago, they brought in extra linemen and threw a pass.
big 3rd and goal when we return. We're back on the film room. Coach Chiz, Coach Clausen teaming up for this one.
Yeah, this is a good look at what they love to do down there. When they get inside the 5-yard line, they're going to bring big people in there, right? 7 offensive linemen. You can see number 65. He's offset in the backfield to your right there. He's going to be their move guy, essentially another puller in the offense. And now you can see defenders are going to keep their eyes on the run game, but they're going to move that guy potentially and literally run some sort of power, some sort of extra blocker guy. And there's our guy, 37, right? Nowakowski gets the touchdown here, but it's big people in the game. He's another tight end. They're using him as a fullback here.
This is, I think this is them trying to impose their will now. That we rush the ball better in this drive. This is kind of who we are. We've gotten down there. We brought the extra lineman in. We're going to push the ball. He's the Swiss Army knife of our offense. He does it all. We're going to hand it to him. We're going to knock him off the ball. We're going to score a touchdown.
Well, when you run fullback belly, that's an attitude, disposition play, because now you're not blocking two guys and you don't care.
They're starting to somewhat statistically at least take this game over.
They
right?
are.
150 yards to 26 yards. Dramatic change.
Yeah, let's look at the touchdown here. Again, we talked about 65, Davis being kind of a lead guy. Sometimes he kicks out. Sometimes he leads up. Well, he becomes the lead guy for Nowakowski, right? He becomes the lead guy in there, and they're just going to run the belly like you're talking about, right? But this is a physical play. They lead up with 65. They get hats on everybody. It's almost like wedge blocking up inside, right? We're just going to knock everybody off the ball and give it to a 240-pound guy and let him lean it in. And you can see right now imposing their will against a defensive front that's hard to impose your will on.
No doubt.
And when you're in short yardage goal line, this is why you go under center to either run quarterback sneak or a quick hitter, belly, dive, wedge play with the fullback.
The mindset of that whole thing was this: they were going to sell the motion of the extra lineman that they were going to run off tackle. So you've got to defend off tackle, quarterback sneak, or the belly, which can come out the backside edge. But they had it defended, and Bain had unbelievable penetration. He just was he had such penetration, he ran right by the back. Yes. They really should have hit that in the backfield. But I think this is all a byproduct of the amount of first downs that Indiana keeps getting, and they keep wearing down this Miami defense. Miami's not getting many cracks at the ball right now.
No. Well, the interesting part now will be to see how they handle it with the way they're behind in the game, as you mentioned earlier, Coach. Are they going to try to take a couple shots down the field? They need a big play. They need to generate some momentum and a big play, in my opinion, but also they have to continue to rush the ball. And we still have not seen him throw the ball down the field.
I want to see him getting the ball in Tony's hands.
I agree.
Either way.
He is like this guy. You don't have to throw the ball down the field to make a big play with him. He creates his own big play.
See where the corners are, though? Down here, right on his side. They're down on him almost where they've statistically seen that the majority of his catches are 5 yards or less. And I think that's causing an issue. At some point, you got to challenge him downfield.
Guys, real quick,
down the field.
One of the great parts of the film room is the interactive nature. We can communicate with our viewers. At Hopeless Falcon writes, I know, since that 2017 Super Bowl, I guess I understand where you're coming from. Can we get an overview on how run fits work and how they're working for both teams in this game? That's from Hopeless Falcon. Again, hashtag CFP Film Room. Ask the questions. Fellas got the answers. Who wants to take that one?
Chiz, that's you. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'll take it. I mean, run fits are all about, it's a puzzle, right? Defense is a puzzle fit. And everybody's got a gap. And when you run fit right now, the backers have to fit off of the defensive lineman, right? And it's not always perfect. Sometimes the defensive lineman gets out of their gap and the linebacker has to make them right. Or sometimes the safety has to make them right. But the bottom line is when you see a gashed run, more than likely you get two people in a gap, so somebody's leaving a gap uncovered, somebody fits a wrong gap, or somebody misses a tackle. But if your run fits are good, which for the most of this game, both teams have been really good. I mean, now you can see Indiana starting to wear Miami down a little bit with the run fits. Indiana's run fits are outstanding.
Yeah.
Miami can't run it an inch because they know exactly where they're fitting. Look at it right there.
Yeah.
You got backers pounding up into the gaps. Everybody's playing technique.
Beck's frustrated.
That was a bad football play because they got edge pressure and they had no answer for it. If you have edge pressure, you better fan it. You better read it. You better have an extra hat.
Dave, one thing I'm thinking here, I haven't seen nakeds. And Miami's been good at naked and getting the perimeter and dumping the ball off. And another way to get the ball to 10, right? And I haven't seen that. I'm not seeing much misdirection passing or, as Steve mentioned earlier, the play-action passing. It's almost like they're getting predictable. Is this fourth down right here?
This is fourth down, and this is not typical of Miami. they're not a team that likes to go for it much on fourth down.
They only went for 16 of them this season, and they got 22, but they only attempted. They got 16 out of 22. They only
gonna be close, huh?
This spot here.
This can be real close.
This is all you, Jerry.
What do you think? There?
Looks like they're going to give it to him. It's on the white
You're
line.
going to give it to him, or he earned it?
Well,
He earned it.
Explain to the people, how do they not measure these nowadays?
So here's a good look at this, Steve. If you go down and look, here's a replay of this, right? They're going to pull the front side guard right now. They're going to lead up with a fullback trying to kick out.
It's the old gas play, where the play side guard is going to kick the leverage defender on the edge, okay? And this is a common short yardage goal line play. I wish the back would lower his pads here.
There's
Lower
your shot.
pads and run for the first down right here.
And by the way,
And they lose the pin block.
Miami had 7 offensive linemen in on that play as well.
They do, yes.
That'll wake some things up.
There's
for
our
Miami,
play
huh?
action, Steve. There's
Gas,
your
by the
play
way,
action.
is guard on support. In case anybody cares.
There you go. Everybody cares.
That's a great gap 8 play.
Yes,
We used to check to that versus gap 8.
that's right. That's exactly what it's made for.
What does a
Take it
throw
a whole
like
while.
that just do for Beck? You guys have talked about how frustrated he's been. Just one throw like that.
Well, it helps him a lot. And what happened there, the play action, as Steve mentioned too, number 7 for Indiana got caught with his eyes in the backfield playing the run, and the crosser come across the field, ran behind him and by him, and gave him an opportunity to pick up an 18, 22-yard throw, cross-country route.
Yep.
There we go.
There you go.
Malachi. That's okay. Get him his touches. He'll break one of these. But if you watch, as soon as they motion him out there, the Indiana corner pressed.
That's what they've been doing in this game. You know, the film study, they've said we've got to get up and cover him. And, you know, as I had mentioned, Miami hadn't had much success in the playoffs throwing the ball beyond 19 yards. And so obviously Indiana's aware of that situation.
Yeah, and with Tony, what you can't do is give him a two-way go in space. And I thought the corner there did a really nice job of attacking the inside shoulder, forcing Tony back into the middle of the defense where Pursuit could make the play.
Interesting call here, 2nd and 8 now, right? Are you going to go drop back pass here, or are you going to try to?
I would treat this as 1st and 8, because I think where they are, this is 4-down territory.
I agree. That's where I was headed with
Yeah,
that.
all right.
We're on the same page, brother.
We have hit the 2-minute timeout. Back with more of the Film Room. Keep those questions coming. Hashtag CFB Film Room.
All right, Chris, that over route that they just.
Coach Chizik, a teaching moment awaits.
Yeah, so Carson Beck's got to get some positive momentum. So this is a start right here. This is what we call an over route. And you can see they line up in a bunch set. They're going to take the number 1 receiver and they're going to run him literally behind the linebackers and underneath the safety. Well, they're rolling right now. Indiana's rolling down to a 3 deep. He's what we call the buzz player. He's the hook player. His responsibility right now is to carry anything that goes up and through that hook area. His eyes get caught. You've heard of eye violations. His eyes get caught, and he misses the over route. Mike, if you can run that, you can see it. He's going to drop down. There he goes. He gets caught on the play action, and the over route gets behind him. That's his route that he has to take. But again, that's a success that Carson Beck needs to build some momentum on.
And it was a really good throw. A lot of people take that throw for granted. His eyes got violated, but the quarterback had to throw a good trajectory with that football, right? You can't hang it up there and you can't throw a line drive. Beck did a nice job the way he fit that ball in there on the cross country route.
So this is 3rd and 8, but I would treat it like 2nd and 8, and you just got to get half.
There's the screens.
And that's good. Now this is, it's a really
Decision
long
time,
field
right?
goal.
Decision time, right?
But I don't know, 3rd and 4th and 2.
I'm kicking it.
I don't know. I'd go for it.
I'm taking my points right here. I'm playing at home. I'm going to try to get the crowd back in the game.
If I'm on the 23, I kick it. On the 33, I go for it.
Steve, break the tie. Break the tie, Steve.
Well, I think it comes down to your faith in your kicker.
Okay.
I think if you got a great kicker, you kick it here, take your points.
Okay.
If you're not sure about your kicker, go for it.
Okay.
They're kicking. Just wasting time.
This is the first drive they've really established themselves a little bit, right? And the reason I would say, coaches here, kick it. The reason I would say go for it and go ahead and kick it, not go for it, but kick it.
Oh, kick it.
Okay.
Okay.
30 seconds in length.
At least be rewarded for a drive and something positive happens. You still have the second half.
Yeah, there's not much
Now
positive
Indiana
that's
gets the ball
happened.
coming out, right?
Again, I think it comes down to Steve. Do you feel really good that your kicker is going to hit a 49, 50-yard field goal?
If you don't, go for it.
That's right.
Well, that I agree with. So that part's right. You tell the kicker, hey,
So
if you're not going to make this, I'm going for it.
2025 Oklahoma State, you kicking it or going for it?
Well, actually, the guy that we had kicking for us at long field goal was really good.
Okay.
You're kicking it.
And so we would have kicked it there. But you bring up a great point. If there's any indecision at all, you go ahead and go for it. He's obviously going to kick it here.
It's
Now,
a
this is
50-yarder.
interesting. He struggled some early in the playoffs, right? Mm-hmm. He took his 3 points.
Nope.
Going it off the boat. Wow.
Right now, we can do this in this role. He
See, I
should
knew
have
that-
gone for it.
That's what I never to say. I would have never picked that.
Did you hear what I said? We should have gone for it.
I don't know what the heck he's thinking.
And you know, kickers. I have a soft spot in my heart for snappers, holders, and kickers, and punters. You know why? Nobody ever talks about them in most cases unless they do something wrong.
Yeah, I don't have the same soft spot.
The dang kickers, he's out there on his own.
I mean, come on, man. That's your job.
That's all they ever do in
up.
practice every day. Come on, dude.
I would not be surprised in the second half to see Miami maybe go a little bit of tempo. They got to find a way to get in a rhythm.
Some
You know,
juice.
Dave, you
I
brought
got
up
to tell you, I thought that was good, too.
You brought up a point earlier about Tony. You know, they've been so creative with him in the past. You see him at Wildcat. You see him do different things.
That's right.
You got to get a little more creative with him, right?
Yeah.
Because, again, we talked about this.
Misdirection.
They can't wake up tomorrow morning and say, we didn't get him the ball enough.
Yeah, tomorrow morning when they wake up, if that kid does not touch the ball 14 to 16 times, they're going to be kicking them.
They are. And whether they got to create, you know, you go back and watch the film, they've done a ton of things and put him in the backfield. He's been a tailback. He's been a Wildcat guy.
You know, he's touched it twice, I think, at this point. And then you saw Indiana, they opened up with their base run. They pounded it for 8. Then they went back and attacked the boundary again, Chiz, with soft coverage.
That's right.
And he threw a comeback route, 15 back to
Indiana,
13.
that's
They're
called the
sitting
second
here at
charge
first
timeout.
down now, almost at
30 seconds
midfield,
left.
right?
Taking me through this. 3 seconds to go. Indiana calls timeout. What are we thinking here?
So you got they're going to go. I think they're going to go on the attack, and they got the same throw here in the boundary on the last play.
Yeah.
The underneath coverage guy got stuck on the vertical. The flat player here, Chiz, correct me.
Yep.
He needs to get out into flat and attack and take away the comeback.
Yeah, but they've got what, 3 seconds
3
left.
seconds.
To get a makeable field goal, you got to get at least to the 35, and there's not a play that gets you 15 yards in 3 seconds. So you're either saying, take a knee, let's not let Mendoza get hit.
Right.
You know, because I've lost a quarterback on a halftime Hail Mary.
Wow.
Or an interception. Deflected pass interception at the, right before the half.
But if I'm them, I'm taking a shot in the end zone, and I'm going to take a Hail Mary.
That's what I'm
here.
saying. I think he's going for it. I think he's going to throw it down the end zone.
Yeah, it's
Game
definitely
clock
an end zone
operator,
shot.
please
If
reset
something
the game clock
crazy
to 5
happened here and they got
seconds,
that,
please. 5 seconds. Thank
You would think, boy, it's going to be hard for Miami to come back from 17 if they end up throwing it and get the ball tipped and caught.
Yeah, I think Signetti's line of thinking is let's be aggressive. Let's always, if we're going to do
go for
something, let's err on the side of aggression. 2010 in the SEC championship game when we had Cam, it was a Hail Mary on the line. We had to make the same decision. We went for the Hail Mary and hit it.
Wow.
And it changed the whole complexion of the game.
Here he goes.
Trips in the boundary, shorter throw for the quarterback.
And you were right. They were aggressive, right?
Yep, went right after him.
He was hot about something.
Went to Becker,
Signetti was. There was something that happened.
The protection
before the play. No, before the last play, and that was bothering him. I don't know if it was the play selection or what, but he was pretty upset. He was getting after one of the assistants.
You know, nowadays there's a lot of guys to yell at. You can yell at your analytics guy. You can yell at your assistant.
Yeah. I didn't do that.
if the
I tried
analytics-
not to yell at anybody. I was very
That
calm.
was the one thing we always liked and respected about you, Steve. That guy is
Didn't yell at anybody.
Cool Hand Luke.
Cool Hand Luke, man. That's my handle.
Guys,
I'll
quick
weigh
first
in.
half thoughts is we're going to hear from Mario. We'll hear from somebody with Indiana in a second, and then we're going to go to break. So just quick first half thoughts.
If you watch Indiana, I thought early in the game they kind of got away from who they were, right? You know, throwing the ball a little bit much. Maybe it was RPO related, but then they started to become Indiana, right? Become to run the ball, pound you, impose their will on you. And I think that's what you're going to see in the second half. I think they're going to come out and do the exact same thing and say, we're up by 10. This is who we are. Let's keep rolling. And then Miami's got to come out, and it'll be interesting. Like you brought up the point, I think, Dave, in the A&M game, they came, or maybe it was you, Mike, they came out and they ran it, but I don't think they can have that same success against this Indiana front right now. They're too good.
I think the interesting thing is what happened, what Steve said earlier. Miami got tired late in the half, and Indiana started to become who they are and impose their will. One thing that I will say is that Miami has defended the throw from Indiana with Mendoza fairly well, in my opinion. Now, you look up there and you see 116 yards, but they've done a good job. But now Miami's got to make something happen early in the third quarter.
The halftime report is next with Reese Davis, Marcus Freeman, and
Mercedes-Benz halftime report.
Riley Nowakowski's carried the football twice all season, and twice he's wound up in the end zone. First rushing attempt since the Kennesaw State game on September 6th. It's the only touchdown in the first half. 10-0 Indiana. Reese Davis, Nick Saban, Desmond Howard, Notre Dame head coach Marcus Freeman with us. Impressive first half for the Hoosiers. They outgained them by 100 yards. What were your impressions?
Well, I think Indiana's playing lights out on defense. Three of the four first series for Miami was 3 and outs, and you're not going to be able to score points if you're going 3 and out. And then on the other side of it, the two scoring drives for Indiana, you see free access throws. They're taking advantage of the free access throws, and they're also converting on third down. So I think that's the key right now is sustaining drives. If you're Miami and Indiana, you have to make sure you continue to convert on third down.
And Nick, that Indiana defense has really dominated the way the game's been played.
Well, and I think they're mixing it up really well. You know, Miami's 0 for 6 on third down, so they haven't been able to drive the ball. And Indiana is actually playing Miami's game with long drives. Miami is 3 and out. So here's what I'm talking about. Here you're going to see them. They got people mugged up. They drop out. They drop 8. There's really nowhere to throw the ball. Quarterback holds the ball incomplete. Here's another opportunity where it's simulated pressure. They drop 8, nowhere to throw the ball, denying the throw. And then from the same mugged up look, now they bring pressure, 4 beats the back, and they got a sack. So they've really kept Miami off balance with the way they dropped 8 and how they pressured. And Miami has not been able to consistently run the ball like they like to, so they're going to have to be able to mix it up a little bit better here, throwing it.
And because Miami hasn't been able to run the ball and sustain drives, the defense is on the field a lot. They've been playing championship-level football until the penalties. We knew they were one of the most penalized teams coming to the CFP. And on Indiana's only touchdown drive, 2 costly penalties. Ruben Bain right there, Jr., 3rd and 12. He jumps off sides, makes it 3rd and manageable. And then 3rd and 6 right here. PI by O.J. Frederick sustained the drive, kept the ball moving, and then here's the touchdown that RD talked about right there, the 1-yard run, the only touchdown of the first half for Indiana. I thought that the Hoosiers offense played extremely well. I like Miami's defense. They just got to eliminate the penalties. They're going to get some help coming up, too. As we were walking up here, a reminder, Xavier Lucas, who was out of the first half because of a targeting penalty in the semifinals. We saw him warming up underneath the stadium. Maybe that'll change some of those free access throws and the big cushions that they've been giving in the first half. Miami has not scored here in the first half, but, you know, they rallied against Texas A&M, but they didn't get much done on offense early. Hoosiers, though, impressive, up 10-3. More coming up right after this.
This halftime report is presented by Mercedes-Benz.
Mercedes-Benz. Miami really could have used a field goal before the half. Carter Davis finds the upright. So Hurricanes scoreless in the first half. The only other team in the college football playoff era shut out in the first half. Alabama, 2017, but then Tua came in and took care of that. Getting pressure on the quarterback is something that Miami is going to have to continue to do, Marcus.
Yeah, in order to do that, you're going to have to get them behind the sticks. And you saw in the second series, Miami was able to do that on first down. You know, Indiana runs the ball. You see Ruben Bain does a great job right here of getting a tackle for loss. Now they're behind the sticks. They run it on second down. Moton makes a play for a 1-yard gain. And most defenses are going to be able to get off the field on 3rd and extra long, 3rd and 15 like they did. It happened again in the 4th series, but the 3rd and 12 penalty now gave Indiana a chance to convert.
Julie, this Nick, what are you looking for in the second half?
Well, first of all, I think maybe getting Xavier Lucas will help Miami a little bit. I learned one thing in the NFL. When you play against Dan Marino, breaking on the ball is overrated. So playing all this zone that they're playing and off coverage and giving them all these gift throws, they got to do something about that. They're going to have to deny the ball more. Mendoza's just going to pick them apart. They got to do a better job of getting off the field on third down. And then to me on offense, they got to have a little more diversity. They got to spread the ball around a little bit more. And get Indiana on their heels on defense.
I tell you, you're looking at an Indiana team that's been blowing out their opponents. It's only a 10-point game right now. If I'm Mario Cristobal, I'm in the locker room saying, listen, guys, we didn't play our best half of football in that first half. We're going to get Xavier Lucas back to help tighten up the secondary. Offensively, we got to wake up. They got to take some shots down the field because you see Indiana's secondary, they're starting to creep up to stop the run, defend the run. They're going to have to take some shots down the field, Coach.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is let's go out here and get a stop defensively.
Yeah.
Right? It's a 10-point game, as you just said. Get a stop, get the ball back to our offense, and then our offense got to get rolling.
Yeah.
You've got to have success running the ball, too.
Yeah, but you also got to do what they think you're not going to do. So, like on 3rd and 1, take a shot.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, they've been stopped on 3rd and 2 and 3rd and 1. Don't be so conservative, man. Caution to the wind in a game like this. Put 2 in the game and let's go.
Well, you know, and you also authored a great comeback late in the game in the national championship game. Gave your team a chance. What about Indiana, though, making sure they maintain this lead quickly, Mark?
Indiana's got to continue to do what it's doing and being aggressive on offense, taking care of the football, and their defense, again, has been playing lights out. Continue to do what they're doing.
I mean, 14 play drives.
Yeah.
They're keeping the ball away from the other team, and they're very efficient.
They got to do a better job, too, of protecting Mendoza because he took some shots in that first half.
Hey, Desmond, that's a great point. He's only been pressured 11 times in the playoff prior to tonight. 6 of his 17 dropbacks. They've at least applied some heat. He's taken. And we welcome you back to the Mercedes-Benz halftime report inside Hard Rock Stadium. Second half of the national championship game not too far away. Indiana still driving up the hill, but it's a steeper hill that the Hurricanes face. They're down 10-0. They've gotten some shots on Fernando Mendoza, some clean, some maybe not. Chris Fowler, Kirk Herbstreit will have the second half for you in a matter of moments. The Canes coming out, needing a stop when you come back.
On the ESPNU Film Room, we're going to show you a couple numbers here. We want to keep hearing from you guys at hashtag CFP Film Room. One question on the way. Please keep sending them. We want to be as interactive as possible. The tail of the tape says it all. 10-0 with Indiana far exceeding Miami through the air. As we welcome you back, take a look at the question here on the screen. We hear all the cliches about adjustments made at halftime. Is there really that many to be made in the locker room at mid-major Matt getting ready for March Madness here in March, but we're still here in late January. So is it a myth or is it a real thing? Let's start with the man who actually gave some halftime adjustments in a national championship game.
Absolutely, it's a real thing, and sometimes it's more than others, right? But I'll just take Miami as an example right now. You know, Indiana's thrown for 116 yards, right? I'll bet you 40 to 50 of those yards are easy access throws that there was nothing to it, right? Whether a guy didn't buzz underneath, the corners are playing off. So now all of a sudden you got your best cornerback in Lucas, right? You got to tighten those corners up. You got to keep giving them. You have to make Indiana earn every yard, especially in the passing game. Other than the easy access throws, the coverage has been pretty good. And then secondarily, Indiana's starting to get a little bit of momentum on third downs. They started out struggling. Now they're 4 for 7 on third down.
That's right.
They're keeping drives alive, keeping us on the field. I'm really focusing on third down.
Yeah, just real quick, Indiana on offense, you took the words out of my mouth. They were 1 for 4, now they're 4 for 7 on third down. They've established the run a little bit, not as much as they have. I think that you're going to see them try to run by him because it looks like to me that Miami's really done a good job of defending the back shoulder throw they've had so much success with.
Miami on offense, that first half was a disaster. 0 for 6 on third down. They had, 3 or 4 3-and-outs. Like, to me, you got to go in there and you got to try to find a way to get some momentum and get some flow. I'd come out and go attack. I would go no huddle. I would go tempo. I wouldn't throw the ball every down, but I would not let Indiana set their cleats in the ground as much as Miami has let them.
Indiana on defense, I would tell Indiana, keep moving your front. Take away the run game by what we call cutting the front, okay? Play zone coverage. Make Carson Beck beat you with his arm versus your zone coverage, and they're elite at breaking on the ball.
You know, the thing we just saw right here, Chiz, Miami's pressing corners, both corners here. Look at the field. See what they've done. Now watch what happens to Mendoza.
Yeah, well, they're going to have a twist inside right here. Watch the twist inside. It gets to Mendoza, but you're exactly right. He's got to hold the ball right now. There's no easy access throws.
He has not had to hold the ball.
And now the twist gets there for their second
sack. Now you're 3rd and 17. We used to always tell our quarterbacks, don't lose the game on 3rd and long. And here they didn't give it a chance. I didn't know if that was a face mask or not.
Well, there's a call right there that we're up by 10 points. Our defense has held Miami to 0 points. Let's punt the ball. And I think that's interesting. Go ahead, Steve.
Well, I mean, you know, if this is truly a face mask penalty here we go again with the Miami's penalties.
Right.
They've got them behind the sticks. They're going to be able to be in good field position with the ball. Now it's going to be automatic first down.
And this has been a problem for Miami all year. You know, it was really an offsides and a late hit that cost them the SMU game. And they had some costly penalties that allowed Ole Miss to stay in the game. I was 3rd and 17. Oh, my goodness, you can't do that.
I was just going to say it couldn't have started better for Miami in the second half.
Right.
You've got them off. You're off the field, right, Chiz? Defense. They stopped them. Now they're going to punt.
New set of down.
Gosh, and the momentum here, momentum is huge. You know, I think 100%. As head coaches, you guys would agree that a lot of times people don't understand the momentum changes. That's a huge momentum change in the game, in my opinion.
Well, they bailed them out.
There it comes off. There you go. Good.
I just can't believe they're just letting that edge guy go and not accounting for him.
Yeah. Well, you know, they're not really worried about him pulling the ball. You know what I mean? So those guys that are coming free, I mean, technically you should be surfing and playing that quarterback.
You got it.
When the back is sitting to your side, because he can pull it, and unless you got a secondary, you know, second level player, it doesn't seem like they're really.
If I'm Indiana, this is his last game. Run him.
Yeah, I'm pulling him on. I mean,
you don't have him next year.
Look at the corners, Dave. Look at the corners.
Yep.
This is not Miami.
Yeah, they're playing some more man.
They're playing man now in one press. And Mendoza's not as successful. We all know this as a quarterback. It's a lot easier to throw into zone, and then it is tight windows in man coverage. And so Miami, we talk about adjustments, right? They've gone to their high safety, which they do. When they play man, they're at about 18 to 20 yards deep with their free safety. And they haven't done this a lot, but they're in cover one right now, and they're defending and taking away what you said, Chiz, the free access throws.
Yeah, if you look down here, if we can get this shot down here, Chris, on the cam, you can see the sack, and you can see right now, watch downfield. They get a twist in there on the sack, but downfield, look at the corners. The corners are pressed up all over those guys. And again, coverage and rush work together.
So here they are again. They're in man coverage.
Miami's played
and they got him holding the ball.
They've played more man already in the second half than I think they did the whole first half.
Look at their staff. You see them, Steve?
Yeah.
You see the defensive staff?
Yeah.
So obviously I'm going to guess at this. They told them, guys, we're going to press. We want the free safety. We want him back at about 20 yards because we don't want to give up a home run ball. But we're going to get up in their face. We're going to get after them in the pass rush. And we're going to try to change the game. His two-man right here, right?
It's a two-high safety look. They're pressing the corners. There's no windows for him to throw in, and you're giving those edge rushers, those guys that can really rush a passer, you're giving them time to get to the quarterback because the coverage is working together with the rush.
They're very athletic. They're running right by those tackles. That was a holding call right there. Should have been. I mean, they can't. They're too much for those tackles in one-on-one.
Here we go.
Here he goes.
Here we go.
There he goes.
This is the dude.
So you know, the interesting part of that, I think that we would all agree, this is what they're going to see on offense from here moving forward, right? Get in their face. Indiana, can you adjust?
We'll find out what the Canes got right after this. At the wall.
So here, Miami now is playing in a man look. The last few plays they played man. They were in a single safety high cover one. They don't play a lot of man, but they made a decision at halftime to play man. Man press, man press, man press, man press. Two safeties deep. So now they're in a two-man look. A couple things happen here. In a two-man look, these guys that are playing receivers, they're trail. Most of them are going to be in a trail coverage. The two safeties have eyes to the quarterback. They're splitting the field, and at that point, they become readers on where the quarterback is. The thing that's important on this is watch the quarterback. When they get to the sideline, they're going to have told them, look, they're playing man. So Mendoza, who can run 19 miles an hour, is going to, at times, if he sees that man, he's going to take off and run.
And then, Steve, you've got something here on the clean beat we're going to tee up for you here.
Yeah, I think if you watch the rush, you know, as Mike was saying now, in two-man, the liability is the quarterback realizes two-man with everybody's back to him. He'll take off and run. But they're beating these tackles clean right now. And the pass rush is on Mendoza so fast, it's hard for him to make a quick decision. Look at that. That's really a holding penalty. He did a single-arm move, a speed single-arm, and beat him right off the get-go. And these are elite pass rushers.
And that's when you got to start chipping and doing
Oh,
things
there he
like
goes.
that, Steve, right?
Fletcher, guys, we got a ball game.
Yep, and that's the first time they've run stretch. They got that ball on the edge.
And this is, I don't want to break, this is kind of what they did against A&M. They came out and it said they were going to establish a run, and they got to the edge. As Dave said right here, great job by the tight end, right? 87, I apologize for not knowing his name, but he's one heck of a football player.
Yeah, so let's look at this. Take us through this, Steve, right now. It's the outside zone, which they love to do out of pistol, right?
Right.
Take us through this as this thing unfolds.
Right, so the back is running at the butt of the tight end right there, reading that block. And the tight end does a great job on the block. So he's got leverage. He's going to keep it outside. Now, where's the safety from Indiana? He's got to come up and fit that play. That receiver probably should have push-cracked that safety right there. I mean, drive the corner up and drive in on the safety. He decided not to, but the safety couldn't make the play in open space, and that thing's in the secondary, gone. This is what Miami needed to do, get right back in this football game, gain momentum.
And for our viewer that asked about a misfit, this is a misfit.
No doubt. That's right.
Right? The safety got to play off the block of the tight end. If the defense's end is outside, his fit's inside. If the guy gets hooked, he's got to fit outside.
Yeah.
And Chiz, with a 2, a 6, and a 9, the safety's got to be thinking he's fitting outside, right?
Well, he's going to be fitting inside from the C gap out.
Yeah,
he doesn't know how that's going to unfold.
Yeah, because the backer is almost a free runner because the center's not going to get to the backer. That's
right.
Right, Steve? I mean, he might try to.
Miami's biggest play of the night.
Yeah, biggest play of the night. No surprise, it's Fletcher on the outside zone. Some people call it the outside zone. Some people call it the stretch play. Nevertheless, what it is you're looking at a full zone. What does that mean? That means that every lineman is targeting the lineman, in this case, to their right, right? So he's going to start at an angle to the butt of the tight end. The center's going to work to the backer. These three have these three. And now it comes down to the safety making the play if he doesn't get cracked, which that's what happens. If you watch this start, there it goes. You're going to see everybody's going to full reach it. Watch number 4. 4 is unblocked. The linebacker is unblocked. He runs inside. The safety takes a bad angle. The wideout comes to crack, but then turns back out because he doesn't think he can get the crack. Now it fits, and there it goes, and it runs on the safety. That's the biggest play of the night for Miami. That's exactly what they needed for the momentum to get back into this football game.
Isn't watching those runs a beautiful thing?
It really is.
Isn't that just a beautiful thing?
Depends on what side you're looking at.
So, you know, right now, Dave, be interested to see how Indiana handles this. When has Indiana been in a 3-point game in the third quarter?
It
would be Penn State, right?
Well, no, the last time was Ohio State in the in the Big Ten championship game.
Okay.
And before that, I believe it was Penn State.
Yeah. 2 times, really, right? I mean, that's
in Oregon,
all
in the
year.
first Oregon game.
That's
at
right.
Oregon.
3.
So those are the 3.
Not a lot of times.
How about the field goal that bonked off the other?
Yeah, how big is that right now?
Huh?
Good call right there. That's exactly right. I was trying to forget about it.
Yeah, I don't forget those things.
They go right back to their bread and butter, right? It's what got them there.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Wide zone.
So they just ran the same play.
So here it is, Steve, going back again.
Now, I believe they led with
the same thing, right?
Same thing. Beautifully blocked.
Now, the one thing about running from the pistol is you can't read the edge defender.
That's right.
And if you're Miami, you got to bend that guy sooner.
And ran it to the shade 5. Actually, a 6 technique.
But who's got the edge of that defense right there?
That's what I was going to
With
say.
that pressure from the boundary, the end has to work wide.
Yeah, I mean, come on, guys.
That's hard.
Come on, he's got to play a 9 technique there.
That's an easy combo up, Steve, for the tackle and the tight end by where the defensive end and the backers were aligned, right? That's just an easy tag up.
Yeah, and you at some point it'd be good to draw them up. And a 6 technique and a 9 technique. I don't know how you guys felt, but I've heard a lot of defensive coaches say playing 6 techniques successfully on defense was about like Jack Nicklaus said hitting a 1-iron.
It's a tough technique now, I'm telling you.
Right, and that's, I'm surprised.
You got
I would
a
guess
special guy to do that.
he's in a 6 technique right now.
Again, Miami corners, like you said, Coach Chizik, they're pressed. They're not allowing those open access throws.
Mike, real quick, just layman's definition here of a 6 technique.
So a 6 technique is where a defensive player is directly over the tight end. And it's an unusual number because inside of that would be what we call a 7 technique, where he's on the inside shoulder of the tight end, and a 9 technique would be on the outside shoulder. The reason a 6 technique is so difficult to play because it's hard, versus a good tight end, it's hard to play a B gap or a C gap or a D gap, I'm sorry, with a guy that's lined up directly on top of you.
We should do a nice draw on every technique across the front.
Yes.
0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4I, 5, 5I, 6, 7.
Incomplete pass.
That guy does not drop passes.
No.
I mean, they've had, as a team,
Hardly any
drops the whole season, and that guy, Surratt, never drops the ball.
Pulling on the field is an incomplete pass.
When you studied them, which all of us have watched their games, you figure it out really quick. Mendoza's been fantastic, but these guys make catches.
They make contested catches.
Yes.
And he has really, really strong hands.
They're the definition to me of what Coach Belichick, how he defined a good receiver play. What makes a good receiver? Get open, catch the ball. You know, all this other stuff, I don't know. And now Coach Belichick added one more to that. Get open, catch the ball, and this year he told me, and break a tackle.
That's right.
Belichick was on the pregame on College Game Day earlier.
He probably said, I need you to do your job.
It could have.
We'll do our job, take a break, pay some bills.
Talk about techniques. So we'll just give you a real quick what we're talking about. When a defender lines head up on the center, that's a 0 technique. When he lines up in a shade, that's a 1. When he lines up inside eye of the guard, that's a 2I. When he lines up head up the guard, that's a 2. Outside of the guard is a 3. Inside the tackle's a 4I, head up the tackle's a 4, outside the tackle's a 5, and then the weird one. Inside the tight end is a 7, head up's a 6, outside's a 9. No one can figure it out, but as Coach Carlson gave me a little history lesson, he says the rumor is that's when Bear Bryant might have had a few too many cocktails. So that's the techniques, and the gaps are A, B, and C, A, B, C, D. So now a little reference guide.
Getting me fired up.
I like that.
He wanted me to strap it up.
Mike, you really pinpointed a number, and you said it right during the break. Hard to win a game, much less a championship game, when you're 0 for 6 on third down, and that's what Miami is.
They've got to find a way to convert some third downs, and I think, Dave, they're in too many 3rd and longs. Now, the last drive was good. They broke the long run. But they've been in 3rd and longs, and they've got to minimize that. They're a better 3rd and 4 or less team.
There we go. Get it to... And this is a nightmare for them. The reason they've been so good in the playoffs is they've had all 3rd and manageables. There's been a lot of 3rd and 2s, 3rd and 1s, 3rd and 3s. And when Miami has down and distances that they can still run the ball, that's when they're at their best.
Quarterback is falling away from the throw right there, okay? He's not driving through it. I'm not being critical, but he's opening the bucket, falling backwards, no pop on the ball. He needs to drive through it with his front shoulder and his hips.
And when he does that, like the 3rd down play against Ole Miss before the touchdown.
Here comes the walk-ups in the A gaps again.
Good protection, good throw, good coverage.
Tough play. I mean, you got to make a great throw in tight coverage.
I don't like his demeanor and body language.
What do you mean? What specifically?
It's just, the palms up, the head down. You're playing for a national championship. You're a 6-year senior quarterback. Get fired up. And that's a good throw. That's a catchable ball. That ball should be caught. That's not on Carson Beck. But I don't care.
This right here?
You're the quarterback. You are the leader of the offense. You can't react like that.
Amen.
Great coverage, Shiz, on that, right?
Yeah.
Breaking underneath, right? And then hands through the hands of the receiver and got the ball down. A stretched out catch, but really good coverage with the backside arm.
You don't think he hooked him with his arm on that one?
A little bit.
Well, he might have, but they didn't call it. Anyway, to Mike's point.
Jerry.
Jerry.
Stay away from it.
To Mike's point, Indiana's not going to give you easy access throws, especially on third down. They're going to press you up. They're going to bring pressure, whether it's simulated, whether it's 5-man. They're going to do something, but they're not going to give you those easy throws on third down. They're just not doing anything. They may drop 8 if it's third and extra long, 3rd and 9, 3rd and 10. But they're not going to give you any of those throws.
The other thing that happens on the other side of the ball here with Indiana's offense, Dave, with them up on those receivers, your RPO game is out.
Yes.
And you're seeing it here, and they're going back soft. They're going to roll to soft here. See, 24's out and the boundary's out. They just can't block the right side.
I'm telling you, like these guys from Miami, we used to call an elite rusher a poison. And you always had to have an answer for a poison, slide the protection, chip the tight end, chip the back. It's really hard when you have 2 poisons. And that's a right tackle matchup that you talked about before the game, Mike.
I was concerned with Indiana's right side. Good players, okay? But I'm going to say Miami's elite pass rushers, right, Steve?
Yes.
If you were going in on Sunday to get ready to play them, you'd be like, ugh.
These are SEC-style pass rushers, and they're on both edges,
okay,
right?
You're going to the coordinator, or you're the coordinator, you're saying, I need chip. I need chip help, guys.
I need 3-step drop, cut them. I need chip. I need screen. I need draw. I need the mechanisms to slow the rush down.
That's a good point, though. I haven't seen a bunch of chips in this game. You got Miami sitting there with Messidor and Bain.
Yeah.
I don't know that I've seen them chipped one time.
Well, away from the wing.
It's not happening a lot.
They're in a wing a lot, and away from the wing, with particularly to the right side, because that is a really good matchup for Miami, in my opinion. Good tough run right there, right? That's the run. Steve liked that run.
Yeah. Physical.
So here's 2 short edges right here, Chiz, just what you talked about. So can they hold up with 2 short edges?
Now they're in a 3-down double B gap look now with both linebackers. So they're now in their Okie, their dime 6DB defense.
So they got to go 5 for 5, right, Steve? They got to at least check 5 for 5 up front. There's the back shoulder. It's defended again.
Yep.
Some contact there or no?
I say it's clean. And how much did they work this week, Chiz?
Look at it. I mean,
they worked it all week, right?
Yeah, if you can just see it on this, Chris. We can show. There you go. There it is, right there.
See him playing back.
He is playing back shoulder through 15 yards.
Beautiful.
There's no question. They have coached that up on them. They are not going to let Surratt run the 14, 15-yard back shoulder. They're not doing it.
That's holding right there, isn't it?
I think you could, like any official, that might be offensive pass interference, defensive pass interference. Let them play.
Let them.
Yeah. You saw Coach's face right there.
First time officials ever agreed with.
Let them play. I love it back there.
He caught it on the 3-yard line.
Oh, Malachi, don't do it too much.
Why did he get on the 3? Tough situation. 17 years old. Big game. As good as he's been, you get caught up in the moment, right? We talked about that.
It's a young person's decision.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Back after this.
Did you see?
Film room, the numbers say the story. Miami's got 4 first downs, no conversions on third down. What kind of critical drive are we looking at here for the Canes?
Well, they're in a tough situation right here. The ball was caught on the 3-yard line, and at this point right here, they have to be a little bit careful, but they're behind in the game. That's a tough situation to be in. You certainly don't want to turn the ball over here. In this situation, you're almost trying to get enough space to get out there. If you get a big play, great. If not, find a way to punt the ball back across the 30-yard line somehow is what I would be concerned with the location right now on the
ball
field.
Inside the 10, we define this as coming out. And if you can make 2 first downs and get the ball past the 25, you won the situation.
Wow.
There you go.
Okay, that's enough.
This is coming out offense inside the 10, and you've won the situation with 2 first downs or getting the ball past the 25, and then flipping the field and not giving your defense a short field. That's
we
a
always
win.
talk from defensive too, Dave, is being alert for shots.
Sure.
A shot for a PI, something bad to happen, or hitting a big play. But down there, a lot of people take shots down the field, especially on first down.
Yeah.
And the other thing we were always alert for on defense is hard counts. We never, ever wanted to bail the offense out. And anytime we were backed up, more often than not, in our first or second call, we were going to have a hard count and try to get a free 5.
Especially inside the 5.
Yes, because if
Half
you
the
jump,
distance.
there's very little risk.
Right.
They jump, you get the full 5.
Right.
You never get BC to jump
tackle.
Smart guys.
Good smart
It was
guys.
a battle of brains when we played.
Oh, get him. Gosh. Dang.
Game of inches.
Yard and a half away from being able to keep it alive.
And Indiana just won that situation.
So right there, that's a critical point that people at home that are watching us, and these are things that you see on Sunday when you're watching video. If he could have kept that drive alive, it would have done what Dave said earlier. One, you're going to get 3 more shots to get out closer to where you can flip the field. They're not going to flip the field right here. You certainly can't go for it.
He was trying to make one more cut at the end there.
That's right. That's right.
You know, he's got to get vertical.
Get vertical.
Yep.
You know, and it was one too many cuts at the end there.
0 for 8 guys on 3rd down.
Yeah, we always did 3rd down. We called it.
That's what I was talking about. That's what scares you right there when you take the ball on the 5-yard line.
Yep.
And you have to give credit to Indiana right here, right? They went after it.
That's sequential football. Miami makes a bad decision to catch the ball inside the 10. The offense then doesn't bail them out by not even making 1 first down, and then their special teams let them down.
Both special teams.
Yep.
Right. So the ball, we catch it on the 3. We don't get out, and Indiana says we're going to go block the punt.
And as a defensive coordinator, that's frustrating because you just gave up 7 points.
Yeah. But that wasn't a block. It was a block, but they didn't try to block it. They didn't bring pressure to block it. That was a 4-man rush.
Really?
That was a 4-man rush that blocked the punt. That's just poor protection.
Let's go back and see it. Let's go back and see it.
Go back and look here.
Wow. They brought 5. One guy didn't.
Ooh. And clean living.
Wow. You don't block punts with 4 or 5-man pressures.
Steve, I was watching over there. Steve, you're exactly right. So the right shield, right? The right shield should post out. So the guy on the right needs to post with his right arm, and he threw him into the punter, right?
Oh, yeah.
I used to call that a drive-by. So basically, you just threw him right into the punter instead of taking number 87, posting with your right hand on his right chest plate. You've got to post him and stop him and turn him sideways, and he threw him right into the punter.
Yeah, I mean, it's a rugby kick, so the launch point is going to widen. That shield has got to go with that launch point, and they did not. So that's a mistake, a mental error that just turned into, all the momentum they gained, they gave it all away.
You still have a lot of time left. Okay, there's a lot of football. Just no BBL.
What is that?
No bad body language.
Bad body language, guys.
Yep.
All right, what do we need to see here on this drive as Miami, as you obviously know, doinked a field goal and then had another special teams miscue a moment ago?
Miami is not a quick strike offense, and so a little bit now you're down 2 scores. There's 20 minutes left. The way both teams play, you're only going to have so many possessions. And, I think right now if you're Miami, you think about maybe becoming a little bit more aggressive on 4th down.
Well, you go back to the first half. Miami had 5 possessions the entire first half, right? That was without turning the ball over. That was without a block punt and all of those things. To your point, you're probably going to get for sure 3, maybe only 4. And, but that's how Indiana wins games, right? They don't do what Miami just did on that sequential series.
Great job by Beck right there. So they ran a downfield route. I couldn't see, but obviously he's looking downfield, and he checked it down, Dave, and he took it 7 yards. Great call, right? 2nd and 3, offensive coordinator's dream right there.
Yeah, I'm just thinking right now, if I'm Mario, whatever my 4th down decision is, let's say it's midfield, you probably back it up 10 or 15 yards now.
Here's your tempo, Dave. Miami now is in tempo. They got plenty of time, right, Steve?
Yeah.
But the tempo, let's change it up. Let's get some juice. Let's see, Gene, if we can catch you guys with your hands on your knees.
That's right.
And catch you where you can't get your calls in, get your cleats in the ground.
Major hold right there, my McGuire.
It wasn't too. I didn't think it was too bad, was it?
That's a hold.
Oof. That's a hold, right?
That's a hold. Yes.
Yeah.
I always thought the Big 12 officials had a little bit of a let them play mentality.
Play action.
Oh, do we have targeting?
Jerry, you get the first dibs.
Boy, it looked like he played right through his hands, unbelievably
Looks like
good.
a clean hit.
Yeah, I don't think he lost. I mean, he didn't launch
Didn't launch.
Yeah.
Did he? He looked like he drove his hands right through the ball. Nope, he got his shoulder right into it.
On the ball.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's Pons.
I tell you what, that kid is a good player
Gosh,
now.
good football right there.
He's
Wow.
instinctive. He's not a big guy, and boy, he plays big though.
Yeah.
Jerry, that was perfect, wasn't it?
That was a great shot. It really
Gosh,
was.
very well done.
Major college tackle football, just hitting high, hitting at the chest. It's a good shot.
And just for everybody's knowledge, Pons is a JMU guy. He brought him with him from JMU. Undersized guy, right? 5'10" guy.
So, interesting call there. So they're in 2nd and 10, and they decided to rush the ball and get into 3rd and 6 here.
Yeah. If I'm right now Miami, I'm thinking as long as I get 2 or 3 yards here, I think about going for it on 4th down.
Oh man, you guys make me nervous.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on
The
that.
ball's on the other side.
I know, but I think if you can get within 2 yards,
Oh
I'm
my
going
gosh.
for it.
Okay.
I would treat this like if you can get this to 4th and 1 or 2.
Well, I thought he got more than he did. He didn't. It's 6 to go.
4th and 1 potentially.
Run it.
0 for 8 on 3rd down now.
Sit, relax. Good job, Beck.
Nice
Well
job.
done.
There you go.
Well done.
First 3rd down conversion of the game, guys.
Yep.
Yeah.
They were 0 for 9 previous to this.
You know what you like right here, Dave. So he had to scramble. He actually set in here pretty good, I think, right? Because they had 5 man, and then he dropped out as a spy. But watch him come back and relax right here.
Yeah, and if you
Nice, really good.
Yeah, and there was early in the sequence, there wasn't anybody open. There was nobody. They were plastered up all over them, and the receivers worked to get open.
That's Daniels, right?
Yep.
Good job by him, Dave, of working with the quarterback in the sprint, in the scramble, right?
Yep.
Get in his vision where he can see it and give him a chance.
It's your Sunday night scramble drill.
There's your screens.
He's down. He's down.
Yep.
And it's going to end up being a 1-yard gain. We had a chance there, Steve. We had 2 guys out on the perimeter, I think, right?
Had the tackle out there for sure.
I think
There's big man out there.
One of the things with screens is we used to tell our quarterback, you drill that thing through his number, right? It's the whole timing of it. It's a dart. You just drill it right through his number, and let's not be too cute with it.
You know the interesting thing, Dave, you bring it up, that's not an easy throw for some reason. And the guys that do just what you said, throw it through him. I'd rather him catch it here. Don't worry about leading him perfect. Good play.
There we
Good
go. I like it.
play.
I love the call. Love the call.
Yep.
What about it?
Again, it's his players, not plays. That is the best skilled guy in the entire football field for either team, in my opinion. And you can't come out of this game without giving him a chance to impact the game. Get him the ball in space.
Good RPO.
Yep.
Well, that's
saw it was
a
bare
6th time
defense.
he's caught. That's a 6th time he's touched the ball.
Very good
That's it?
RPO right there, yeah.
6.
Could have handed it off, but obviously he had numbers on the perimeter.
But that was bear defense. So he saw bear defense.
Flip it out.
Flip it out there.
Give me a quick Bear defense.
Bear defense means they're covering every offensive lineman.
Got it.
Outside edge of the tackle, guard, center, guard, outside edge of 5 down. 5 downs inside. It's a run-stopping defense. That's why they threw the ball.
And for some of the viewers that are closer to my age, the Bear defense, the name, where'd it come from?
The Bears.
That's right.
46.
46 defense.
Ah.
So if
Buddy Ryan.
If our viewers know where that came from, that means that they're potentially old like me.
Buddy Ryan.
Bears fans need some good news today, though, so you give them a little good news.
That's where that name came from.
I didn't realize I'm the young guy in the group, aren't I?
You are 4 days younger than me.
The Bears. Am I the older guy in the group? No, I'm the youngest.
No, I'm the older guy. I'm the oldest guy in this group.
This is such a critical sequence here.
I like the call right there in the run because we're 2nd and 7, and now I'm following your lead. Now I'm going. I'm not kicking a field goal.
No, now we're 4 downs.
I'm on the headsets with the coordinator, and I'm saying you got 3 downs to get 7 yards, and then you got 4 more to score a touchdown right here. We're not going to kick a field goal.
Gigantic play coming here when quarter number 4 begins. We're back with more of the ESPNU Film Room right after this. How big of a snap we're about to see.
Yeah, this is huge, right? I mean, they're 0 for 1 in the red zone. They've only been down there 1 time. They've got to score, and they can't score a field goal. They got to score a touchdown. It's 3rd and 1. You put big people in there, you get the first down. You run it twice. Whether it scores or not, get the first down, give yourself 4 more downs. But they've got to come out of this sequence right here with a touchdown.
I think we would all agree that, like what Indiana did down there earlier, all of us would agree, you got 2 downs, and you get a first down, you got 4 to score.
That's right.
And get under center to me.
And
There you go.
There you go.
They've got some extra linemen in there.
Yeah, and it's unbalanced all the way to the right.
Inside. There you go.
Nice
well
play.
done.
Good play call.
I think they just zoned that, didn't they, Steve?
Yes.
Yeah, it was kind of the zone went opposite the back.
Misdirection.
Yeah.
Here we go. Let's look at it right down here, guys. You can see it. Here comes the motion. All right, and he just reverses out, and it's literally belly. They're getting as many double teams as they can. They got a double team to the right there. The right guard right now in center working on big man to the right, to the left. And that's a really good cutback right there. Watch the linebacker try to fit. The near backer tries to fit up inside, and he gets pinned by the tackle.
And what really makes it a touchdown is when you get this type of motion, we'd all say, who has the jet motion? And right now there's 2 guys for Indiana that react out. And because they have 2 guys reacting to Tony, they don't have a cutback zone player.
Correct.
33 belly with the fake toss on the jet sweep. It's great little play. And he bends it right back where he needs to bend it. And
But I think it's also great to use Tony as a decoy.
No doubt. That got their attention, right?
Well, they got 3 guys running with them.
So the player that's lined up over the wing on the outside shade of 87, he's caught up in it because of number 10, in my opinion.
and the fact
Tony.
that 87's arcing.
But no doubt. Bluff.
He's selling that jet.
Yeah.
He's selling it.
But what's different is because he's under center and he's not in the shotgun, there's no threat of a quarterback run. So you don't need an inside quarterback player and an outside quarterback player. When that tight end releases, that other defensive end can crash. Now, when there's shotgun, you got to play inside out on the arc.
How fun is this now? We got a 3-point game and we got 14
But he's
minutes
got
left.
him
This is
man-to-man
awesome
right now.
Take us through it, right?
See,
3 quarters down,
I
3
thought
seconds
that,
in.
But there was a guy outside, and the corner was running with
That was bear
Tony.
press. That was
And
bear
so
press.
I wasn't sure if he had him man. If he did, then very well designed, and then
Right.
that ate basically 2 guys for 1.
That was bear press, and he was pressed and an inside leverage technique on him, playing him man. You're right. It was a great design.
Yeah, good
the more you
design.
really evaluate that, it's a heck of a football play.
Right.
But that really the guy in motion had to be the cutback player on the run then, if that's what you're doing.
The linebacker should have.
Well, the guy that was running over the top with Tony, if the wide guy has the jetter, now you got to become the fitter.
In the D gap.
Yes.
Yeah, he would have had to fit the D gap outside,
And the
which
backer
is
should
hard
have
to
been
do.
free. Yeah, bear defense, that backer should have been free over the top.
which I think wouldn't agree. That's not going to happen on the 3-yard line. Great play design.
But Miami also did a great job of getting push and walling. They had
Yes, they
7
did.
that blocked 8.
And it
7
allowed
of their
the
guys
cutback.
blocked 8.
That's right.
And that's what happened. Then 2 guys bit on the jet sweep.
And I think there's a lot more pressure in Indiana now because we all know calling a game in the 4th quarter up 3 and up 7 is different. Right now, a field goal still makes it a 1-score game.
They started off with their bread and butter, right?
Yeah, I don't think they're not panicking. I mean, they know it's a close game. They're going to do, his nature is to do what they do, right? They're going to run the outside zone. They're going to run the inside zone. They're going to run the duo. They're going to keep running that. Now, I'm not saying they're not going to throw it, but they're going to stay with the running game because that's how they win. And they're not changing anything.
What's really interesting about this matchup is the Miami defensive coordinator, Corey Heatherman, worked with all these guys at JMU just a few years ago.
How about that?
Yeah. Look at the corners, Dave.
Yeah.
Look at the now they're going to bring pressure from the edge, and the safety's already down on number 2.
Yeah, they're not conceding easy throws.
But this is exactly what we're talking about. They're not changing who they are. They're still running the same plays. The same plays we saw them in game 1, game 10, game 14. Same thing. Watch it. They're still running the exact same stuff. Inside zones, duos.
And see, the last one, Steve, there wasn't an RPO. Both receivers came inside and were blocking.
Yeah,
So,
it was
they
called
said
run.
it's called run.
If you watch interiorly right now, though, Indiana is grabbing and hugging those defensive linemen right now. They're not going to make those calls, but watch them. That's what they do.
So they went back.
Oh,
there you
nice
go.
play.
Defending it right there, Chiz.
Yep. Great job by the corner.
So there's an adjustment, certainly from the first quarter. They weren't defending any free access, which are throws that are 8 yards or less outside, like right here. He's running a 6-yard hitch, defended to the field or the boundary, and so there's a change.
Yep.
And that thing is very closely, that's going the other way almost.
Well, so now, and somebody in the box said, guys, we got to run hitch and go.
Yeah,
we got to run sluggo. We got to run slant and go.
Field. Yeah, I mean,
if they're going to bite on us like this, we got to try to take advantage of it. There's a space
Good
play
block
again.
on the perimeter. Great blocking on the perimeter.
They're such a good fundamental football team.
If this was a numbers advantage.
Was that 37? Yeah, see,
This is a numbers advantage all the way.
Yeah.
Watch the backer inside. They got 2-on-2 with the block. They got 3-on-2 out there with a 1 high safety.
And look who they had blocking.
There you go.
A tight end, essentially, and a receiver that's 6'3".
6'2". Yeah.
Or however tall.
Yeah.
They had leverage and they had power on the perimeter.
It is so hard to tell whether they're winning or losing looking at his face. Signetti, you just can't, you cannot tell.
I'm going to guess they're winning because they always are. Right?
That's fair enough.
I'm not sure what the face looks like when they're losing because they haven't lost.
But you bring up a great point, and all of us are different as head coaches. But I think that most of us would agree that you have to try to look the same all the time. So if you want your team to be patient, you want them to function and not panic, as the guy that's in charge, you can't panic.
That's right.
Now, I don't know that that's always easy to do, but
It's living on the outside
right or wrong,
and
that's the way I felt.
dying in the inside.
Oh, yeah.
100%. But you can't do it, right?
I tell you what, that's subtly a really good play by Mendoza. He avoided disaster and still got positive yards.
2nd and 9. Look at the corner up top, Chiz, in the boundary.
Yep. Stay pressed.
Here he comes. They fired him. That's the first time we've seen that in this game. 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6. So what do you, Steve, right here, now you're 3rd and 6. Are you thinking possibly 4th down? Now, Indiana only went for 22 4th downs this year. They weren't a big 4th down team. I know that's a trend across the country, but
I think if you get close, you go for it. If you're 4 or 5 yards out, take the points, field goal. But I think you're in a potential 4-down situation.
So 0 for 3 in the second half.
When did you guys start looking at that chart?
Which chart?
The 4th down, go for it chart, the analytics.
I had to stay. Well, I didn't like it. I wasn't comfortable with the analytics. Never was comfortable with it. Guy took the inside fade.
What do you think happened there?
That was holding,
I think that was a slot fade, right?
Yeah, it was a slot fade, and they got away with one. And to me, they're probably going to punt it.
So you can see
So
right
they must
here.
have gone to cover 1, Chiz.
They did. So they rolled the safety to 1 high.
Yeah.
So obviously that's a signal right now. We're going to go for the slot, the chop route, right?
And yep,
they got away with one there.
Yeah.
Tugged on his jersey.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jerry, what do you think?
Yep.
No, that's a miss.
Yeah. And here you go, Steve.
Wow.
4th and 5, timeout.
Yeah, take a timeout. I mean, you want to rethink. Just make sure. I mean, I don't know.
The interesting part of that is they held that coverage till the last second. Really did a good job. Now Mendoza picked it and threw the slot fade, but they held it good.
Yeah, they did.
Back with 4th down next. Dave, take us through that slot fade attempt.
So really interesting. A check versus cover 1 is what we call a slot fade, that the inside receiver runs the fade route. So a couple of things. You're always looking for ways to undress the coverage. And right away, the nickel and the corner switch, and the nickel plays the tight end, which is a man indicator. So, Steve, if you could play that real quick and then freeze it. So now, because of the nickel on 1, the corner on 2, there's a man indicator. The free safety's on the backside hash, and you have all this field to work with. So this is a check a lot of times you'll get versus cover 1. And, Steve, if you could run it. And, again, it's a good concept, and I think Miami gets away with a hold, and Indiana has a 4th down decision.
And meanwhile, they just actually converted that 4th down with this incredible grab that you're seeing here. Mike, how about that?
The back shoulder fade, they finally hit it. The first one they've hit in the game. And I mean, an unbelievable catch. Dave, you were talking earlier about their ability to make catches. That throw was a good throw, not a great one, a great catch in my opinion, and on 4th down. And how about the coaches? How about them going for it? 4th and 5, right? Yeah. I mean that's a big call right there.
It's a big call, and that's their bread and butter. That's what they're good at, and that's what you do in championship games is you stick with what got you there.
Well, you can see why Miami has been so hypersensitive to that route all day long, right? I mean, you have to defeat that route. So that's one of the biggest plays in the game right now, 4th and 5, and hit it.
That's right. And from an offensive perspective, Dave, your quarterback, you have to have a lot of faith in him to throw a 17-yard ball on 4th and 5.
That's right.
Because the farther the ball goes down the field, the lower percentage of completion, right? It's just
in that timeout, they had a lot of conversation with him, both the head coach and the quarterback coach. There was a lot going on, talking directly to him, you know, and it was beautiful execution, really, you know.
I'll credit Miami. They didn't concede. If you're going to beat us on 4th down, we're going to make you force the ball deep and outside.
Coach,
and that's hard.
Take me through all this. What kind of input, even though he's a Heisman Trophy winner, it's 4th and 5, the title's on the line. How much input does a player get in a situation like that vis-a-vis the coach?
You got to listen to him, right?
Yeah.
He's proven that.
Little reminders, too, that it's 4th down, and incompletions or an interception's better than a sack.
Tight coverage, right? Man coverage again.
They are really letting them play in the perimeter. There's a lot of grabbing.
Are they going to take the points here?
All right, it's 4th and 5 right here.
I think you got to kick the field goal here.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah, I'm taking my points.
Yep.
You know, Jerry, what do you think, Jerry?
Wasn't a good pass, so I think that's why they left it alone.
Gotcha. Okay.
Jerry, do you feel like there's a more than normal amount of activity with these DBs on these wideouts? It seems like there's probably been 2 or 3 calls that are questionable, I would think. There seems to be a lot of hand fighting.
I think you would agree that most players, they kind of get the feel from the officials as far as what they're going to allow, and then they always seem to push the envelope a little bit. And I definitely feel like they really are pushing that envelope tonight.
So they've called timeout again, right?
Yes.
And in my opinion, what he's thinking now as a head coach is, if he goes for this, he's thinking, I don't want to lose by 1 point.
Yeah, I think.
You know, sometimes we do that.
4th and 5, though, I'm thinking I take the points, and if they score a touchdown, I can still win with a field goal.
That's
no,
right.
I agree. But if he goes for it, even though there's 9 minutes left, you're thinking in the back of his mind, I don't want to lose 21-20.
Well, he's also thinking, Mike, that I'm giving him a long field, that you're trusting in your defense. My defense is really good. They're the best in the country. I'm going to have a hard time believing Miami, if I'm Signetti, they can take that 95 yards.
And you know, the other thing, Steve, is that the back shoulder is it in play on this field location? So you're not going to run it, right?
No.
And they've been playing press man. So it's going to have to be a good throw, because back shoulder, you might throw a front shoulder fade, but it's not going to be back shoulder, I wouldn't think. I don't know.
Yeah, as they get a little closer,
close.
They have a lot of really good front pylon throws, sometimes to the slot.
Quarterback
draw. Yeah.
Great call. Great call.
What a run.
Call. Great call.
What a run.
Wow.
Great call.
That kid is gutsy, man. He is gutsy.
That is a great, not a good call. That is a great call.
That's a gutsy call.
That is a gutsy call.
Let's look
And a
over
gutsy
here.
run, right?
Yeah.
Look at Mom. Mom is like,
This is just
kidding me?
This is just quarterback ISO.
Do we know the value of this guy, and you just let him take 3 giant collisions like this?
He's on scholarship.
That's my boy. I know. But that's a mama. Quarterback mama.
That's the second 4th and 5 conversion on the drive.
Yeah.
Look at this, man. I love it.
Wow.
That's called,
Steve, you love it.
That's
You love
called
it.
a dude.
You love it, right?
He's a dude.
Yeah.
That's your best player. That's the Heisman Trophy, putting the team on his back and
body.
saying, I'm going to make you right.
My body is second. My team is first.
Wow.
I mean,
2 big 4th down calls.
and I'm gonna. Miami had a good setup right there. The Heisman Trophy winner made a great play. He made a cut there for the first down, right?
Yeah.
He's going to get tackled a yard short.
Legacy.
So, just a great play by the Heisman Trophy winner.
Legacy-defining drive. We're back after this.
Hey, Dave. As a defensive guy, when you get down here, you always have to worry about quarterback runs. Now, it was 4th and 5, so Miami wasn't thinking quarterback run, and just when they weren't thinking that, that's exactly what they called. This was quarterback draw. If you look at the set on here, when you run the quarterback draw, you actually have a lead blocker. So you got these 2 on these 2. These 2 are going to set up to the next thing. 65, key blocker in this. He gets a head up to inside technique. He uses inside footwork to dig him out. The back's going to lead up on the second level player. Watch the instincts of Mendoza. He's going to take it up in there, and all of a sudden, he's going to feel everything collapse because he's got a free hitter. And now all of a sudden, what does he do? He uses his vision to cut back. That's a great call, and that is a tough, instinctive run for a touchdown.
Another interesting point here is they've used 2 timeouts. So if Miami can take the football and go down and score and get it within a field goal, the 2 timeouts, which I agree with them at that time because they came up with a plan and they had a plan for both crucial 4th downs. But if so, they only have 1 timeout left.
Right. Could loom large, right?
Could be interesting.
I tell you what, right now, if Indiana wins this game, they have dominated the special teams. A block punt, 2 really good kickoff coverages. Miami, this is their 2nd flag if it's against them on a kick
It's
or
a
a
holding
punt
plenty
return.
on number 20.
Yeah. I mean, this is, they have, their lack of discipline on special teams is going to be one of the reasons if they don't win this game.
Yes. So I think Indiana has 1 penalty, a procedure. It was in the first quarter, right?
They had a false start.
They got 2.
They have 2? Okay,
penalties
so
for 15 yards.
Wow.
And what is Miami now after this penalty?
This should be penalty number 5.
Okay.
And Indiana averages about 26 penalty yards per game.
And so we called them hidden yards, the special teams return yards and penalty yards. So let's say if Indiana's 42 yards ahead right now penalty-wise, that's 4 first downs in the game. Sometimes people don't think of it that way, but that's the way, right or wrong, that I always talk to the staff. Return yards added with penalty yards.
Yards are yards. It doesn't matter how you get them. Now, if you're Miami, right now you're down 2 scores. You might only have 2 drives, 3 if you're lucky, and that's probably going to be a short clock drive.
Good job. Really good. Really good. Check downfield, they cover down, dump it off, and get 9 yards.
That's a good football play. Like, again, it's coming out. They're inside the 10. And now go with tempo. So here we go. They're going with tempo. I like it.
So, and you're thinking now, once you cross that 40, you might mention to the coordinator, look, we're in 4-down territory.
Right.
We've got to stay aggressive. We can't punt to them at this point because what Dave said is that we might only get the ball 1 more time if they rush the football.
Right.
So you're thinking 4 downs, in my opinion, once you cross the 40-yard line, your own 40.
Okay.
And depending on how
Miami,
this clock runs, it might even be before that.
Yeah, it might be like the 30, 35 or 30.
Yeah, we're almost at 8 minutes.
I would like to see Miami play with a little bit more urgency right now.
I agree, Dave. You just don't get that time back. It looks like they're going to be in 2 sync right here. Yep, they're playing a 2 and syncing just a little bit because they have a 10-point lead. Be patient. Good coverage.
Yeah.
But I like Beck there. He was better than earlier in the game, right?
His feet are settled.
Yeah, be patient. 3-man rush, Steve, I think. I'm not for sure. Was it 4 or 3?
I was watching the back end here.
Hey, you're not. Hey.
It was a 3-man rush.
I know.
It was 3-man rush.
Crazy, right?
Yeah, he did a good job of relaxing. Remember we talked about that earlier? Just sit there and relax, and he did a good job there.
I tell you what, these DBs have figured out they're letting them play.
Yeah.
Honestly, and you might disagree with this, whenever we had Big 12 officials in bowl games, we always thought, in general in the country, that group let you play more than some of the other officials.
They did, and SEC, we felt like, did the same. Somebody make a play. Somebody make a play. There you go.
Wow.
Somebody made a play.
You just changed the game right there.
Nope.
Incomplete.
Incomplete.
Oh, my
Take
God.
another look. He's certainly not arguing, right?
Field judge was right there.
Watch Pons play this ball in the air. Look at him. Look at his eyes.
And if you're Miami and those guys are 6'2", 6'3" plus receivers, like you have to win those. You have to win those matchups.
What did Jerry think about the left hand right there?
Great.
Let him play,
Let
Jerry.
him play.
Let him play, Jerry.
Let's not make little calls right now.
Pons, smallest guy.
Let's not change what we're doing.
And you can't go for 4th down right here, right, guys? Inside your own 30.
There's a false start.
Oh my
Miami,
gosh.
yeah.
And again, this is not surprising because this is a little bit indicative of how both these teams have played all year.
This is what I think is unfair to the line. They're keeping him at the line of scrimmage too long right now. I don't know why he's holding him at the. I'm talking about the quarterback now. He's holding him at the line of scrimmage. They know they're in a third down situation. Those linemen want to get out of there.
No doubt.
And that's a tough deal. I'm telling you.
See, I wonder if he's checking protection.
He might. I don't know.
Yeah.
He must have been doing something. But I'm saying, come on, man, snap the ball.
What you're saying is right. They're sitting there on edge.
And that's always the plus minus of using those delayed counts on
Corner fire zone 3.
Four-man rush, yep.
Great job by Beck. They had a corner fire zone 3. Found the guy at the seam, Chiz.
Yep.
Right, there's the spot. See him rolling to 3?
Yep.
There's a fire zone from the corner. Yep. And there's the weak spot right up the hatch.
Yep, you look at it right there. Here comes the corner.
And if you're Indiana, you're going to spend more attention on Tony than the tight end.
That's right.
So he's leaning to the boundary.
There he goes.
Here he is. Here he is. Here he is. Man, I love watching him.
You know what's interesting with him there, Dave? You see him looking there? He's trying to figure out how to get out of that. Most guys are going to just protect the ball and put their head down. He's looking and thinking, I wonder if I can get out of this and go score right here.
Well, he's gotten out of it plenty of times this year.
I love him, and I love him as a player. I'm with you on this 100%. But tonight, he looks like, to me, I feel like he's a half a step slower than I feel. I don't know why.
We've seen him all year. I mean,
he's not breaking tackles tonight. You know what I mean? Like, and he may here coming up shortly. He's a heck of a football player.
Well, what you're seeing right now from Indiana is uncharacteristic. They're taking bad angles back there on people. We saw it on touchdown. We just saw it on that play as well.
Just relax.
No.
Easy. Ooh, easy. Made me nervous. 3-yard pass, nice and easy. Throw a catchable ball. Chiz, I'm falling right back into my quarterback deal.
Is he scrambled today? Is he run with the ball scrambled?
No, the one play he scrambled to get the ball down the field on that over route, but I don't think he scrambled for positive yards. Now, again, when you go against teams that play all zone, that's a little bit harder to do.
You know, these 4 coordinators, for these 2 for each team, have been fantastic this year, and I like the matchup right now. I like what they're doing. This is new in here. Whoa. We haven't seen this play.
Yeah. There it is. Yeah. That's what I want to see. Break a couple of tackles.
You covered all year, and I have not seen that look in that play from Miami.
They kind of ran a very similar play with different motion to win the Texas A&M game.
Yeah. Well, with him outside.
Yeah.
See, I think this was a design inside run.
It might have been based off of what the defense did.
I think it's more like a stretch. If you look at it down here, it's more like the stretch.
Did they kick somebody out?
Well, they pinned with a wide out. Right? Yeah, they reached everything, and then they put the wide out up. It looked like on the corner.
And they
stretched it all out. And then he cut up inside of it.
Yeah, you're exactly right. It was pretty much the same play at A&M.
Yeah.
And he read it, being a good ball player, and he tucked it up.
And now they've also run this exact same play with him in the Wildcat. And then they have a neat little pass off it that he'll show the stretch, and they'll leak the tight end. And he hit a touchdown against Pitt.
I actually think this is a wide zone, kind of a wide zone play.
I agree. Yeah. I thought there might have been a kick out block, but once he gets out there, the second level guys are in trouble.
Apparently he found that last half step. We're back after this.
So now the two.
Another way to run the wide zone stretch play, but the Malachi Tony now with a little bit of cross action at the running back position. Let it go, Dave. They're going to reach block, stretch block everybody. He's going to read it like a tailback, and they were outside. The block by that tight end, he cuts it up inside. Dave, this is a play that you referenced before.
Yeah, they ran this against Texas A&M for the game-winning touchdown, and they've also run this at different times this season with him as a Wildcat. And I think this is what makes him a unique talent, is he has the type of vision you'd like your tailback to have. And it's not like he's getting a million reps doing this. He's just a natural at it.
Reminds me of Percy Harvin we had at Florida. Percy was a guy who could naturally go into the backfield. He didn't need a lot of work, but he could read it like a tailback. Those guys, to me, are dangerous. They're receivers that can, with the ball in their hands, dynamic. That's your guy.
And he's now touched the ball 9
That's your guy.
I tell you what.
9 times.
If I got a job tomorrow, right, half the revenue share budget might go to that guy, and the other half to the quarterback. Because you said the linemen, they don't need that much, right?
No, find yourself some linemen, coach the heck out of them, get them in the weight room, get tough guys, smart guys who love football, take that money, couple of those
Give it to Tony.
You better have a big budget.
Yeah.
What do you the C-gap defender got hooked, right? Chiz, and the safety took a bad angle.
He did, and the safety. I've seen that 3 times with Indiana now on bad angles in the secondary, which you don't see much. but all of them have led to big plays for Miami. But to your point, guys, Tony's now touched the ball 9 times.
Yeah.
Now you're getting to about where it needs to be, right?
You're right.
9 times. He's got 115 yards. So
3 times in the first half, I think, is all he touched it. Right?
Yes.
Get the dudes
So they
the
go
ball.
right back to their base play here.
yeah, that's what they said at halftime, right? Get him the ball. We don't want to wake up. And he touched it 5 times in the game.
This drive becomes even more critical for Indiana because of what you said. They only have 1 timeout left.
No doubt. And you got to give credit to Shannon right here, the offensive coordinator at Miami. 250 yards in the second half.
Yep.
Compared to 80-something by Indiana.
Right.
Block
I
punt,
think
man. Block punt, looms large.
Yeah. And I think the thing here is that the adjustment by Miami's defense to press and take away the easy throws, and then the adjustments they made on offense, getting the ball to Tony and continuing to rush the football effectively, like that's what got him there. And now Indiana's coming back, 3rd and 5-ish?
Yeah, this is such a big play.
What is it, 3rd and
5?
3rd and 5.
Yeah.
So do they come after him here? You think they're gonna? They don't need to.
They don't
right?
need to.
Just go ahead and play 4.
Yeah.
They might drop 8 right here.
Now that's interesting formation, unbalanced. They're going to sprint.
Oh, nice play.
Yeah, great call,
Josh.
And that's a great
call
versus man, right? You get in bunches.
Yeah.
You run your little rub route. You move the pocket.
Kind of a follow route, right? Push up behind. And a lot of times the receiver running out will follow the front receiver, push. Oh, he just went straight to the flat. They
Well,
just
I
ran
tell you
old
what I
school.
hated that from Miami is they weren't set. Their front wasn't set. Their secondary wasn't set.
It's because of the unbalance,
they're
David. You brought
misaligned.
that up. That unbalance is what jacks up all their alignments, right? You had 3 defensive linemen stacked on each other, and they're trying to get them bumped.
Yeah.
And the
then
corner
they sprinted away from it.
And the corner looked like he was playing zone, and the nickel looked like he was playing
Was
man.
that a huge play or what?
Yeah, that's
You're
my
talking about
that was my favorite
potentially
call on
punting
third
the ball with 4 minutes and 30 seconds left. And now their percentages are they're going to be able to punt the ball if they have to with less than, right around the 2-minute warning. Big difference, right?
And let's be conscientious that Indiana should be eating that clock every time. They should never snap that ball with any more than 4 seconds left.
You know
on
what's
that clock.
interesting here?
Eat it up right now. Eat it up.
They're rolling. Like I in the back of my mind, I was thinking the same thing. But they're moving quick here. Now, he may also think they have 4 timeouts, right? You have 3 in the 2-minute warning.
Right.
So, guys, we need to play. But I was kind of thinking what you were thinking.
Well, the last play they got off at 4 seconds. This one looks like they're going to get off at 4 seconds. So I'm assuming that's the strategy.
You're right.
now.
Yep,
They just ran cross plug for the first time all night, which, as you guys know, is a great run-stopping blitz. And he pulled out for the first time with 4 minutes left in the game.
You know, to that point, Dave, I just haven't seen a lot of pressures from Miami, period. Now, I've seen simulateds where they're going to add 4, it'll be 4, but they're dropping out. I haven't seen a lot of 5-man pressures.
They're kind of defending them.
Yeah.
You know what's interesting, though? When they walk the guys up in the A-gap, and Indiana struggled with it both times, they haven't done it since. Right? We haven't seen that since, have we?
No.
I can't get out of my head the 2 4th-down calls by Indiana and the block punt.
Looming large.
I think so.
So again, they're playing man free
Playing man,
here. Back
playing
shoulder,
cover
back
one.
shoulder.
Oh,
there we go.
Did it again.
That is their go-to.
Wow.
They are so good at that.
Gosh.
Talk about how much y'all work that in practice, Mike, because that for a DB is the most you can play that ball and that route is as perfect as you can be in the best position like this, and this still happens.
Yeah, and Dave, I don't know how you felt about it, but some quarterbacks can throw this and some can't. And it's interesting. So what I didn't want to do, the question you asked is how much do you practice it? Some guys weren't very good at it. We had to cut it off. Guys that were good at it, we wanted to spend about 7 minutes out of a 12-minute one-on-one period a day.
Right.
Because if you're going to throw it, it takes a lot of practice.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, at Wake, we got guys that were either fast or big. It was hard for us to get both.
In it.
And we got really good at back shoulder fade. Sam Hartman, A.T. Perry. We got a lot of mileage on those guys.
Who is the D-gap defender here? They push crack the safety.
Push crack your man.
I mean, come on, man.
They don't have a lot of practice at this. They don't play a lot of press, right? They made the adjustment. They're playing press. that crack it takes work, right, Chiz?
Yeah, so you can
look. And when you don't do it a lot, they've kind of gotten out of their game here.
Right.
Here's what I do like. Did you see what the wideout did, Dave? Yeah. He ran the slant.
Yeah.
See, the mistake they make, if they just go inside, it's easy to replace. He sold the slant route, and the corner got sucked in.
I just love it when receivers are that physical.
Yeah. So right here, it's a great job by Cooper. They're running the stretch play, which we've talked about all day. You have this guy, the defensive end's lined up in a 6 technique, so he's an inside defender. The 2 outside defenders are these guys. And you can go ahead and roll it. Watch him sell the slant here. 1, 2, 3, as Dave talked about. You can run it back if you get a chance. He's got his outside foot back. He sells the slant route. So the corner's in man. He thinks it's a slant. He buys and comes in. When that happens and blocks the safety, the corner has to replace. You can see it right here. When he goes in, the corner needs to replace and fit. He's inside. Great job by the wideout, giving his body in the block. Corner replaces too late.
And, Mike, make the point also, and it's true, that those guys don't play a lot of press man coverage. That is a hard technique to recognize and come off of and be a run fitter when you don't do it a lot.
Sold the 3-step slant Dave talked about, outside foot back, 1, 2, 3. Looked like a slant, extremely difficult.
56 seconds. Miami called their first charge timeout.
Dave, that was like that play was you got to give credit to Indiana versus Miami not defending it. Because if I'm that corner, Chiz, I've got to cover the slant. I mean, it's just, that's 100%.
What you do. And this is where teams that run RPOs, sometimes you have a call that turns off the RPO that tells the receivers, no, this is not an RPO. Because normally if the safety would come down, the corner's off, you'd throw the hitch.
That's right.
But now you have the ability to turn that off and say, we're going to run it no matter what. You've got to account for the extra hitter instead of the RPO taking care of it.
But I will say this. That was poorly done by the defensive end. That's a 7 technique, but that's not how you play 7 technique. That 7 technique played to a 5 technique. The tackle reached him. That allowed the tight end to get up on the second level to the linebacker. A 7 technique to a reach block should have went and drove back out on that tight end and created a flat line for that back. Instead, it was a short angle, and it was like taking candy from a baby.
That's Mike's point earlier. That is a hard technique to play because you have a tight end on you, and then you have that tackle on you right now. You should be getting up vertical, but I see that happen a lot with those 6 technique and 7 techniques. That tackle takes him over, and then they build a wall, and they just wash it.
And the backer was tucked in the A-gap, Steve, right?
Yeah, you got a problem when you get wiped like that.
Yeah, you do.
Oh, my goodness. Very atypical.
There's no edge to that defense.
Right. That's the issue.
You know,
that's the issue. There's no edge from that perspective, and then no edge with a corner.
Offense, 5-yard penalty.
So you're in 1st and 15 here, right, Dave?
Yeah. Well, it's now second and 6.
Second and 11. Is it going to be 2nd and 11?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're looking at Indiana. Okay. So it's 2nd and 6. So, but you're looking at Miami's timeouts, and you're thinking we're going to rush the football and force them to use their timeouts, right?
Okay. I thought they jumped early there again too. And this, where it becomes a really hard call, is do you run the ball and force them to use their last timeout? I think there's too much time on the clock to do that.
Okay.
I think if you're Indiana, you got to throw the football here, and you've got to convert.
Okay. Yeah. I would agree with that based on who you have throwing it and who you have catching it. Those guys have been fabulous all year, right?
Yeah, it really becomes like, do you want to win the game with your quarterback on offense, or you want to win the game with your defense? Because if you say, hey, this is the hill I'm dying on, you throw the ball here with your Heisman Trophy winner in your offense, and you get the conversion, and you risk Miami having a timeout.
If they convert here, the game's over.
Yes.
Now they're good on defense, too.
They are.
Right,
and he's got 2 good choices a lot of times.
No, that's right. I was going to say that.
Yeah.
That's a good spot to be in.
But that's the way they were thinking when it was 4th and 5, and we were having the same discussion, and he threw it. I mean,
you got to give it up to him during that. That's
right.
Crazy good.
But this is where, as a head coach, is how you manage the game. If you're better on offense, you throw it and say, we got to score. If you're better on defense, you run the football, make them use their timeout, and say,
I wonder if he uses some kind of misdirection and put him on the run, some kind of naked or something maybe. Trust the court. No, they went right back to bread and butter.
Miami's going to have plenty of time.
Yep.
Miami has called their third and final charge timeout of the game.
You saw what Coach did right there.
Be
Watch
smart,
the ball.
guys.
And watch the ball. Yeah, we don't need a 5-yard penalty right here, guys, if they go hard count.
And if you're Miami, they were in a run-stopping, almost goal line defense there.
Yeah, they had them all. They had them all up.
Lame bear.
Yep.
So let me ask you a
Run the
question. Nothing is a freebie, but this would be a pretty easy field goal for most college kickers, right? It's 4th and 4. You don't want to burn the timeout. Do you go out and hard count it? Try to get them. If you think they're undisciplined, obviously not as kickers out there, but a thought sometime. Okay, I can go out and hard count them. If they don't, I'm going to take the delay.
And you're talking about putting
and I'm going to kick the field goal.
You bet.
Yeah.
Offense back
Just a thought sometimes, okay?
Right.
Because Miami's up front, those guys are sitting on G, waiting on O.
That's right.
If the ball was, I don't know, maybe between the 5 and the 15, I may think about that. I think he made the right decision.
Yeah, no, I agree with it, but it's a second thought at times, you know. Because if they did jump, game's over, right?
Well, and that's how SMU beat Miami, is they got Miami to jump in one of those situations, which let them stay on the field.
And that's one disadvantage of a great defensive line, because most great defensive lines get off the ball.
It's amazing.
Right?
After all this, though, it's going to come down to, I mean, you can win the game with a touchdown and an extra point here, right? I mean,
Take us inside. Go
ahead. I mean, you're saying to yourself, wow, we're going down the home stretch right now, and we got a chance now with a minute, whatever it is, 50, 40, whatever.
Yeah, 142.
So they're in there. We hear about 2-minute, right? Everybody in the country that loves football hears about 2-minute offense.
Right.
So this is something that they've worked on since August. They've practiced it in August, and in most cases, they're going to have 5 plays that they can run really fast. And then because the ball out of bounds stops the clock, an incomplete pass stops the clock, so you can call whatever play you want. One thing I thought that sometimes coaches do, they had too many plays in 2 minutes, because you don't realize about every 3 plays the clock stops anyway. So you can go back to your call sheet. But let's be really good at 5 plays that we can call lightning fast, because the clock is not our friend right now.
That's right.
So, Gene, you going to drop 8 here?
So I'm going to have a mixture. Definitely drop 8 is going to be. I'm going to have a menu of calls right now, and I'm going to have 6-man pressures. I'm going to have a max pressure 1. The problem is that when they go tempo, you got to everybody's got to be on the same page, and they got to be aligned. They got to be able to execute. That is the strategy defensively. You better run what your guys can do, because one blow coverage is a touchdown, and you lose a national championship.
You're playing Carson Beck. Are you going to drop more drop 8, and they can beat you?
I'm not going to go more drop 8. I'm going to go some drop 8, because I'm not a drop 8 guy instinctively.
Yep.
I'm going 4, especially if I got some pass rushers. I'll hit some simulateds in there. I will try to get some one-on-ones with the back.
What happened there?
Oh my goodness.
Delay.
Delay a game.
Wow, delay a game?
5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Wow.
You know what, and this is where I find officials are very inconsistent when they first set the ball, when the ball is kicked out of bounds. Like so many times that 40-second clock starts, and then the defense hangs out and they reset it for you.
Now, here's the only good news for Miami.
You tried to.
You got 4 downs, and you're throwing it.
Yeah.
So I don't want to be in 1st and 15 either, but it's not like it's in the time in the game that you're not going for 4 downs.
I think you're going to see some exotic simulated pressures here, like that one.
Oh, good job getting rid of it. Good job getting rid of it.
What they're doing right now is they're walking 6 up, and they're trying to make you guess who is coming from where. They did it early in the game, but that'll give you mismatches on the back. That'll make you not be able to get a back out potentially. You want to try to get 6 in on protection right now and rush 4, which is what simulateds do. So I think you're going to see a lot of walk-ups, and then you're going to see a lot of 4-man games off the walk-ups with all the twists and the pressures and things of that nature with backers and D linemen. They're going to mix them up.
Well, the great thing, if you're Indiana, right, you're not really worried about defending run now. This is
and there you go. They're trying to get them in 5-0 protection, get 5 bigs and work some twists.
So they changed coverages. First, they were in 3 cloud on the first one, Dave.
Flag, guys.
And,
Is that a late hit?
Did we get a late hit on a quarterback?
Jerry, what do you see? Anything?
Personal
No, we didn't see
foul,
anything
roughing
yet.
the passer, number
Yep.
97.
Oh.
Defense, 15-yard penalty.
Uncharacteristic.
Very
of Indiana.
uncharacteristic.
Very uncharacteristic at the wrong time.
Now you're back on the chains, right?
Yep.
And for the most, yep, you got to get him. Plus he led with the head, right, Jerry?
Well, the face was up in the chest, so it was good, you know, as far as targeting,
want subs.
but
Yeah,
it was
subs
late. It was a good call.
Okay.
Mike, she didn't like that call at all, huh?
The last time Miami had a drive this big, nobody on the Hurricanes was born. I mean, think this is a huge drive.
Yep.
They rolled to
There
the
goes
boundary.
your 3-man rush right
Quarters,
there.
great job.
Get
Quarters
the
to the
first,
field,
clock stops.
rolled to the
First
boundary.
down inbounds.
And I think in a lot of ways for a quarterback,
Clock's
down
hot,
6
and
was awesome because you knew you had 4 downs the whole way.
Sure, it makes it much easier, yeah. So they rolled, now they're going to roll, now they rolled to the field.
Well, they brought a simulated, right? They dropped a guy.
What
They
a
brought,
catch.
they brought a second-level guy. Great catch.
Clock's going to run.
And then
Rolled, yeah, they mix it up, rolled to the field that time, played quarters to the boundary.
Yeah,
so
hurry
they-
up, hurry up, hurry up.
So you got a safety wide off the hash over here in the boundary, so we know we're getting
Indiana's
two
dragging
here.
a little bit on the D-line.
Yeah, pure cover 2. Get out of bounds.
Get out of bounds.
He didn't.
It's okay.
He didn't get out.
First down.
Didn't
First
get
down,
out.
it'll stop the clock.
Now they'll wind it.
Not yet.
No.
No, you're not spiking
No,
it now.
not till you
Clock should be running.
less than 30
Clock should be
seconds.
running.
Okay.
You should have be able to call one of your, I say 5 plays, Dave. You should be able to call those lightning fast.
Yes.
Right?
He
And
took his
so,
last time out right now.
and the other, it's a great question is, you know, to spike the ball. If you get another 20 to 25 yarder and you're running down the field and everybody's running down the field, there's a time to, at that point, go ahead and spike it to get everybody calm down, catch your breath. Depending on how many wideouts you have. If you can't rotate your wideouts, they're going to get tired here pretty quick. Right.
One of the interesting things is I thought that last snap, Indiana looked really tired on the D-line.
Smart call.
And I
That's
think
why I
that's a
called it.
smart call.
Yeah, I think people really underestimate how important sometimes a defensive timeout call is.
You're right.
And this is a
Exactly
critical
right.
time. What you don't want to do is go into the game with 1 timeout and you lost because you get no pass rush.
No pass rush. Everybody's on their heels.
Yeah,
they're getting tired, and they strike you with something down the field.
right.
you know?
Yep. Great
I
point.
used to say one of the hardest things to do in football is to rush the passer in the 4th quarter.
Yeah. And see that they've done a good job mixing coverages. They were 2. They were roll boundary,
Yep.
roll field. They were the last play. They were pure 2 again.
And they're 4-man rushes, Mike, with different people.
Quarters in the boundary.
Oh, my goodness. Take a knee.
It was
take a
cover
knee.
2 to
Take
the
a
field.
knee.
I think they had trips in the boundary, and they only had an X to the field, Dave. And so the corner did a great job, Chiz, and continued to sink because there was no threat in the flat.
Right.
I think the corner just said, "I'm sinking. There's not an eligible receiver over here." So they were 2 over there,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
And the back was on the other side.
They're playing half, quarter.
Yep.
They're playing.
Yep.
They're playing
So
half. They're
Yep.
playing half to the field.
Yep.
They're playing quarters to the boundary, and you're exactly right. It's a single receiver, and so he can just sink.
No eligible over there, and the corner did a great job. Just continue to sink. Because the safety's really not off the hash, Chiz.
And to throw a whole
You know what I'm saying?
shot to the field versus cover 2, that's a long throw now.
It is, but I'm saying the safety. Now he did get good depth. I'll give him that, Chiz. He's deep enough that his angle would be good.
Yeah.
But you got to give a ton of credit to the corner that recognizes. You've seen a lot of corners not do that, not recognize it.
The corner's trusting his safety because, even Mike, to your point with depth, if the safety is breaking flat, he's got enough depth. If he's breaking uphill, he doesn't have enough depth. And right there, the safety's got enough depth to break flat and the corner trusts him, and he comes underneath it and undercuts it.
It's very subtle. The corner did a very nice job, though, of keeping his width and forcing the inside release.
Just going to bring it up.
To the safety help.
Don't let him go outside, right, Chiz, no matter what.
That's it.
Forced him inside, Dave, right on it, and the safety could get over the top.
What a great football game.
God,
man,
how much fun was this?
This was awesome.
Wow.
How about some closing
Can we
comments?
stay the night and do it again tomorrow?
Guys, I don't think it's an exaggeration. We're 30 seconds away from crowning the most unlikely champion in the history of this great game that goes back more than 150 years. What are we thinking here?
I would agree.
I'm thinking Kirk Cignetti has done the best coaching job I've seen in years.
Wow.
Yeah. Years.
I agree.
When you look at the team that he assembled, like-minded guys, bringing guys out of the portal, but that doesn't always mean you're going to have a great team. He has not only assembled a great football team, they have all bought into whatever juice, whatever he's thinking, they're on the juice, they're drinking it. And it is the most incredible coaching job
I'm sure he just pointed to the sky, and I'm sure he's thinking of his dad, Frank Cignetti Sr., who's
that's a football family, right?
head coach at West Virginia and IUP. And boy, what a great job, and great job by Mario and Cristobal and the Miami staff too.
Yeah,
no doubt.
They came out of nowhere from the season. But I think about this game, and I think about, I'm going to say it again, coaching. Receivers going in there and cracking on that big stretch play.
Mm-hmm.
2 critical fourth down calls that he had the fortitude to make.
Yeah.
Kurt Cignetti, and then of course special teams.
Mm-hmm.
Being able to block a punt and critical point in the game. They're just a team that beats you in a lot of ways. You got to really play well because their special teams are on point, their offense, defense are on point, the coaching's on point. They really reduce the margin for error.
I think it's fair to say that these coaches on both teams have done a magnificent job, and the players and such. But if we're going to look at what happened, the special teams ended up, Dave brought this up earlier, that really was the turning point. And then the one thing that I'm going to go back to is the play the quarterback, the Heisman Trophy winner made on fourth down.
Yeah. On the back shoulder throw.
Well, and the quarterback draw.
Yeah, quarterback draw.
Great players got to make those great plays in these
great
moments.
plays.
I mean, he made two great plays, but credit to both coaches and both coaches' staff. You hate to see anybody lose this game.
That's how I felt.
But I will say this for what Indiana's done. Amazing from where they came from. We all talked about it. But this is the new era of college football. The rules allow this to happen.
Right.
He's transitioned this team differently than what would have happened years ago based on the portal and bringing players in.
And I would say, I think now there's a certain investment level required to be one of the teams that has a chance to do that. But I think coaching in college football now matters more than it has in a long time.
Yes.
Because it's not 3 or 4 teams that accumulate all the talent and the coaching's between them. Their staff out-coached people the last 2 years. And I think, again, I'm biased, but I think when you learn to coach at IUP and Elon and you learn your mistakes at those levels, you're ready for this stage.
And
It certainly was for him.
I'll say this, too, along the lines of the portal era. Culture's never mattered more either.
Thank you.
It's hard to put together a culture when it's such a transient game right now. And when you look at Indiana, this was a culture win.
Right.
Because they didn't have special team breakdowns. They didn't have penalties at critical moments in the game. They trusted, the coaches trusted the players in critical moments to hit the back shoulder, to run the cue draw and score when the game was on the line. And all those calls weren't clear-cut calls. You could have made the call or kicked the field goal instead, but no, we're going to go for it.
But this is how it's different. It used to take how many years if you were head coach to create a culture like that?
Sure.
Yeah.
Now you bring in 13 JMU players, your whole staff. You can import a culture if you're going from a group of 5 to a power 4, which he did.
I really think, though, I think Gene is right. I think the skill of building culture is so critical now because you have to do it in shorter time frames. And it's a skill. It's not, to the ADs out there, it's not about finding the new cute schematic person. Find leader of men. Both those programs, what did they do? They had coaches that were leader of men. They built them from the front back. They had toughness and they had culture. That Miami team, you talk about their culture came around towards the end of the year. And that's where this is at right now. And that's a skill and everybody wants to talk about money. I know money's big. I got it. It is. It's huge. But it's still right now more than ever, leaders of men, build your culture, get your players to buy in, get them to play hard, bring toughness into your program. That's how you do it.
You know, and you have to give, people have talked about Mendoza a lot, but he's under a lot of pressure. When you win the Heisman Trophy and you've played like he has all year, and then you go into the playoffs, and it's a lot of pressure to perform at a high level. And his ability to handle pressure and ice in the veins, as people talk about, has impressed me.
Speaking
in
of
a
pressure,
big way.
Signetti just put pressure on every college coach out there.
No doubt. You got it.
Because every one of them, every AD that's watching this show and everyone's saying,
Why
we
not
can
us?
do it. We better do it. He did it. Find a way to do it. The pressure's on every single guy.
Yeah, you're right.
That has got a head coaching job at FBS right now.
Only so many Mendozas out there.
Hey, guys, thanks so much. This has been so much fun.
That's what I
Love
said.
it, man. Thank you, guys.
Do something tomorrow.
Appreciate you guys. Thanks, Zubin.
Good stuff.
Too, man.
Great job.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it, brother.
Great job.
Ram Truck
Behind the
post-game
scenes has been awesome.
is on the way.
And now welcome back to the Ram Trucks post game. Some of the confetti still fluttering in the air. Some of the Indiana fans still wanting to make sure that this is not a dream, that they are exactly experiencing what they saw in front of their eyes but could never believe. I mean, I'm telling you, this is something amazing. It's again, the modern tools of this sport have been used by Signetti. It's an old roster, masterfully coached and developed, in 16-0. 16-0. That's not happened since Yale back before the turn of the 19th century.
Right. Yeah, just incredible. Cool to see. And we've talked all season about how they built this and how they've been able to come together and play as a team. There's you're referencing 1894.
And the last perfect season in hoops, Kirk. Matched with a perfect season in football. How about that?
Wow. So good.
Assembly Hall.
Oh.
Shout out Bloomington. The party is just beginning. 2 hours. Those seats were free, but they had to be claimed.
Chris and I, just real quick, Billy, Chris and I just want to shout out Lee Corso. I talked with him earlier today. He was completely dialed in and excited about what Indiana was doing. He was picking Indiana. He knew that they could pull this off and finish their season. And he said, hey, don't forget, 1979, their first bowl season, our first bowl victory as a school in 1979, beat BYU. I said, Coach, we'll never forget that. We'll never forget that. So, Coach, if you're out there, buddy, we love you. Congratulations to you and all the Hoosiers and all your former teammates.
Absolutely.
Players.
Love you, LC. He was fired by that school, but still loves Indiana. That says a lot about the man.
I asked him, you still love? Absolutely. Pulling for Indiana.
Here's how another Indiana legend, Don Fisher, called the game-clinching interception from Jamari Sharp.
Here's the snap back. Beck looks, throws it down the field, and it is intercepted by Indiana. Wow, what a play! And it is Jamari Sharp who comes up with a pick, and he runs into the end zone. They're going to call a penalty. But Indiana
call that only
intercepted the football.
He's called so many huge moments in Indiana basketball, Kirk. He's finally got a huge moment in football, huh?
Exactly. One of the classic voices in the Big Ten, Don Fisher. I've been listening to him for a long time, do huge moments in IU basketball history, but what a year he's had, and what a way for he and his team to be able to culminate the national championship season with a huge interception, again, by Sharp.
From Miami, they're Miami-born quarterback and the Miami-born coach, Mario Cristobal. Team came up a little bit short. Gutsy response. He was hoping they were on their way to a game-winning drive, and Signetti's team, kind of a smile.
A little smirk.
Congratulations, Indiana fans, on being the playoff champions. You can get all the official locker room merchandise right now. Selling right now at the College Football Playoff's official online store, shop.collegefootballplayoff.com. Wow, what an end to this incredible season. Indiana 100-1 to win the championship at the beginning of the season, and 1,000,000-1 before 2 years ago. Much more to come from Miami. Now back to Scott Van Pelt.
Chris, thank you. Still to come on the Ram Trucks post game. What a story. What a remarkable season. Congrats to Indiana. We will have the live trophy presentation to IU for all their legion of fans who came down here and filled Miami after they went to Pasadena and after they went to Atlanta. We'll visit with, I believe, Curt Cignetti, although I'm not positive just yet. We will also relive the Hoosiers' remarkable and unblemished road to the championship. All that and more after this very short break.
The Ram Trucks postgame is presented by Ram Trucks, official sponsor of the College Football Playoff. Nothing stops Ram.